Welcome you guys all to the WCBN coverage of men's basketball this afternoon. We got a good one for you today. The number 2 Michigan Wolverines take on the UCLA Bruins. For WCBN, my name is Reynold Wei, joined by Max Wood. Second half, we'll have Cleo and RJ taking you guys home. Max, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, this is going to be a good matchup. We saw this UCLA team come out into the season struggling a little bit with that game against Eastern Washington. There was a lot of frustration, but now recently they're coming into a good stretch of games. They just came off of a win against Purdue just a few weeks ago. So now we're going to see them trying to come into Ann Arbor, come into Chrysler, and try and take down the number 2 Michigan Wolverines. And I'll say this is going to be a great game. I think you'll expect to see Michigan try to work their way in the paint. They've got a huge height advantage. Adai Mara going up against the tallest player on UCLA's roster, only 6'11", number 1 Xavier Booker. Big mismatch there. I'll see a lot in the paint, I think.
100%, totally agree with you there. For the Wolverines, they are coming off a come-from-behind victory on the road at Northwestern. Like you said with UCLA, they're catching fire as of late as well, winning 5 of their last 6 games. Not an easy matchup for the Wolverines tonight, but for UCLA, their first road trip out east so far in this conference play. They take on MSU a little bit later. How do you think that'll play into affect this game today?
Well, we saw with Michigan going into their West Coast games, they felt a little sluggish, but then they came out victorious from both of those against Washington and against Oregon. So what I think we might see here is maybe that kind of early wake-up didn't get up to the UCLA team. Now they might start off a little bit sluggish. You expect to see maybe some bad shots taken, but I'm sure they're well coached, and I'm sure they'll get around to getting over it.
For sure. Mick Cronin in his 7th year coaching has a few infamous sound bites so far this season, shall we say. He's definitely going to be fired up today, trying to upset the number 2 team in the nation at home. But the Wolverines, I mean, they look absolutely on fire. To me personally, that Northwestern game, although we were down early, it provided me confidence for this team. I believe that seeing them be able to rally from behind, despite being down 18 at one point, I believe it was, that provided me a lot of confidence with this team going forward. And just this team has been able to win in many different ways, coming from behind, close games, squeaking them out, and then obviously just putting their foot on the gas pedal and absolutely dominating the team. This team is so talented. They play so fast, and it all starts with Yaxel Lendeborg, Moraz Johnson, and Adai Mara. These bigs for the Wolverines are just so incredibly dominant, and like you said, they have a huge size advantage today against the smaller UCLA team. Before UCLA, big news for them, Sky Clark is out there warming up right now. He's not listed to start. However, we might be able to see him get some minutes today. He's been out with an injury for a while now, only suiting up for 3 games so far this season. But in those 3 games, averaging 14 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists, shooting 50% from the field and 62% from 3. He is definitely going to be a key player tonight, should he actually get some minutes.
Yeah, a lot of strength in the rosters between these 2 teams. You go into Michigan and you look at the depth that they have. Of course, you have that front court that we described, but then also the guard play that can come off the bench. Someone like Will Cheddar who can shoot really well from 3. Then you have players who are maybe not coming off the bench, maybe starting, but are still playing great. We saw Namari Burnett absolutely light it up against Penn State just recently. Oh, yeah. So just a lot of depth there. And with UCLA, it's just a really well-rounded team. You have players like maybe Donovan Dent, who's not the best 3-point shooter, but then you can turn around and give it to Tyler Bilodeau, who can really shoot from the 3.
For sure. And just kind of building off your point there for the Wolverines, I believe I saw something that was like the past 6 games, they've had 5 different leading scorers. This Wolverines team is so incredibly deep. And it's going to be hard for UCLA to keep up, in my opinion, just because they have been riddled with injuries throughout the season as well. But to me, for UCLA, it all goes through the senior, Tyler Bilodeau. I mean, he's been their leading scorer this season, averaging 17.5 points. He's had some amazing games so far. But it really starts and ends with him. It's a tough environment. First ever whiteout here in the Chrysler Center. Fans have their towels, their white T-shirts. It's going to be a loud environment. It's going to be an energetic environment. And it's going to be a great game, as we're about probably around 30 seconds away from tip-off.
We saw a new hype video coming in for the Chrysler Maze Rage, looking lit up by that.
So it looks like we have some starting lineups first. But who do you think is going to be the player of this game?
I mean, obviously, Tyler Bilodeau we saw as like a big player for UCLA. He's a leading rebounder, leading scorer, great shooter. I think he'll definitely be it for UCLA, but I think overall we're probably going to see a big Adai Mara game. Coming into this, height advantage is massive. He's going to be getting a lot of looks. He's going to be taking it into the rim. He's going to be getting blocks. I think it's going to be all him.
Totally agree with you there, Adai Mara. I mean, I was lucky enough to broadcast that game down in Columbus at Ohio State when he pulled those 2 3-pointers. We'll see if he shoots any more today. He didn't shoot any against Northwestern, but definitely something that he's working up his confidence on. Dusty May in an interview said after the Ohio State game that Adai Mara, I mean, all he does during warm-ups is shoot 3, so might as well let it fly during the game, you know, get some confidence building up, and that would really stretch the floor for the Wolverines as well. 3-point shooting has been a little bit inconsistent for them, especially coming from their bigs. Yaxel Lindeborg only shooting 29% from 3, and he's been there was a stretch where he was averaging around 4 or 5 attempts per game and only making 1 or 2 of them. It looks like as of recent, though, he has been kind of getting back to normal, attacking the rim, and I think that's really the key for the Wolverines tonight. They've got to be aggressive off the dribble. They've got to attack the rim, and they're one of the most assist-heavy teams in the nation. So it's going to be a close one today. It's going to be interesting to see how the Wolverines play. As our starting lineups are just about to be introduced here. And someone else I'd like to point out is LJ Kaysen. He was crucial to that win at Northwestern. But as the starting lineups are introduced, we'll let you tune in.
On your feet, it's time to bring the starting 5 for your Michigan Wolverines. Beating up over the 6'9" sophomore from Riverdale, Illinois, number 21, Johnson Jr. At center, a 7'3" junior from Zaragoza, Spain, number 15, the point guard, a 6'1" junior from West Orange, New Jersey, number 3, Elliot Cabral. At forward, a 6'9" graduate from Woonsocket, New Jersey, number 23, Axel Lindeborg. At guard, a 6'5" graduate from Chicago, Illinois, number 4, Namari Bernard.
Those are the starting lineups for the Michigan Wolverines. Usual starters for both teams. It's going to be a good one today. The Wolverines desperately need this win as they have a tough schedule for the rest of the season. Purdue, Duke, Illinois, and then, of course, Michigan State as the season closer here in Chrysler. That's going to be an exciting game, but all eyes are on this one so far. Cannot overlook this UCLA team. 17-7 overall, 9-4 in the conference, and a team that, in my opinion, is way better than what their record suggests. I believe that this team is incredibly talented, and kind of surprised that they have only 17 wins to show for it, in terms of the fact that I feel like Donovan Dent has been outstanding this season. Same with Tyler Bilodeau, of course. So, going to be very interesting to see how this game goes today. Wolverines, of course, wearing the all-white in the whiteout. UCLA wearing their all-blues. And the fans are getting amped as we are just seconds away from tip-off here at Chrysler Center in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan, obviously we've seen them to be a team that can play with a lot of momentum, and once they get to that momentum, there's little you can do to get it back. So they're going to try to start out hot, definitely.
Totally agree with you there. So it'll be the Wolverines moving from left to right. The UCLA Bruins moving from right to left. It'll be Adai Mara versus Xavier Booker for the tip. Mara, huge size advantage there. And he wins the tip, gets to Burnett, passes straight up to Cadeau. And here we go. Elliot Cadeau dribbling top of the three-point arc, right by the logo. Bounce pass, Lendeborg. Up to Mara, top of the three. Looking for somebody there, nobody there. Dribbling left wing, gives it to Burnett, left wing. Lendeborg in the corner. Passes back up to Mara, driving down. Double team behind the back pass to Morris Johnson. Wow, what a way to start.
Hey, look at that start. They're moving inside the paint. They got the double on Mara because they don't have that size advantage, and they find the way to get it to Johnson in the paint.
Great pass by Mara there. Donovan Dent now working on Yaxel Lendeborg for the Bruins. Trent Perry driving in, bounce pass to Booker, and he's blocked by Mara. But a foul. What a start for the Wolverines, though, in terms of energy. Adai Mara, an underrated passer. We saw his vision there. And then on the other side, gets the block, but the foul's called.
Yeah, definitely starting out how you'd expect with a guy with a, would be what, 5-inch height advantage?
Yeah. I mean, this should be easy pickings for Mara today. And Booker misses the first. So looks like the crowd is getting to him. I will say, this is one of the most energetic games I've seen at Chrysler so far. The whiteout is a beautiful spectacle here.
Booker only 72% from the free throw.
And he misses both. And the rebound is Kamara, passes it up to Cadeau. Cadeau now dribbling up the court. Burnett wide open in the corner. Off the front iron, rebounded by Dent. Dent now gives it up. Passes to Booker, and Booker just passes it away to Mara. Lendeborg now driving in and misses the layup, but gets the offensive board. Elliot Cadeau passes it to Namari Burnett, wide open from the wing. No good. Morris Johnson looking for the rebound and no call. Looks like it'll be UCLA ball.
A couple wide open looks there for Namari Burnett, just couldn't make any use of them. Ended up being a ball on the outside into the out of bounds and UCLA ball.
You talk about playing fast. That's exactly what the Wolverines are doing. Donovan Dent now working for the Bruins, passes it up to Perry. Perry by the logo, drives right all the way in and blocked by Axel Lendeborg.
And Michigan defense lighting it up right now. They're getting boards, they're getting blocks, they're preventing the baskets. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a basket out of UCLA for the first 5 minutes of this game.
Yeah, this UCLA offense looks frazzled, not getting the shots that they want. And now Dent can't get it in, just kind of throws it up to Daly, who gets it over Johnson. Daly now working on Morris Johnson, driving in. Double team comes, gives it up to Dent, right on that UMich logo. 3 left on the shot clock. Dent pulls up. Nothing there. It looks like a hard foul, loose ball foul. And Cadeau is a little bit shaken up as he took a hard fall. But he looks to be okay.
Dent taking a little unadvised shot there with the shot clock winding down. Not the best three-point shooter, shooting only about 27%. So usually opt to pass it off from him.
Yeah, Elliot Cadeau now working on Donovan Dent, right side of three-point arc. Gives it up to Adai Mara, top the key. Cadeau, right wing, drives right, goes left, now down to the middle. Yaxel Lendeborg to the corner. Morris Johnson now working on Bilodeau. Bounce pass into Adai Mara. And a foul on the ground is called on Booker. We already see the Wolverine bigs. They are abusing the size advantage so far, both offensively and defensively. It's a tough matchup for the Bruins so far.
That's got to be all Dusty Mays working. He's telling them what they need to do, and he's getting them their looks that they need to get. And look at that.
Oh, man. Off the blob. Morris Johnson gets the screen from Yaxel Lendeborg, drives straight down to the paint. Bounce pass from Cadeau, and one easy bucket. And what a start from the Wolverines. 4-0 they lead, 17-54, just a little over 2 minutes into this game. But the momentum is 100% on the Wolverine side so far. The Bruins already have 3 fouls. Morris Johnson now to convert the and one.
Yeah, the scoreboard doesn't show it maybe. You'd think that 4-0 is just pretty normal startup, but a lot of momentum with the Wolverines right now.
And Morris Johnson converts. So 5-0. And the Wolverines showing a little bit of a press now. Donovan Dent guarded closely by Yaxel Lendeborg. Crosses the half-court mark with 20 left on the shot clock. On the logo, Dent gives it up to Bilodeau, right wing. We have Daly. Bad pass to Perry, but he manages to handle it. And the Bruins just can't get any penetration going on. And an offensive foul called on Trent Perry. Great defense by Moritz Johnson, forcing him to the right side of the court, trapping him in the corner. And man, the Wolverines are off to a hot start. And Elliot Cadeau now gives it up to Johnson, to Lendeborg, right wing. Adai Mara looking to move inside of the paint. Backs back out. Elliot Cadeau, top of the three-point arc. Nomari Burnett wide open to the corner. Off the front iron again, and a rebound by Daly. And now here come the Bruins. Donovan Dent, right side, guarded closely by Cadeau, driving in. Free throw line, finds a wide open Booker for three, and he hits.
3 minutes in, they finally get their first basket, 3-5.
So the Wolverines still with a 2-point advantage. Around 4 minutes into this game. Elliot Cadeau gives it up to Johnson, who hands it back off to Cadeau, right on that Michigan logo. Lendeborg now with it, right wing. Bounce pass, Johnson lobs it up to Mara, and a foul is called. Mick Cronin not happy with that one.
And I'm really liking this defensive look, that little press look that the Wolverines were given. If you already have a team on their heels, why not add to that pressure? You're going to force some bad passes eventually. You already saw a little bit of the bad pass. The one off to Trent Perry ended up being able to haul it in, but in the future, they might not be able to do that.
100% agree with you there. Adai Mara, only a 48% free throw shooter. He is at the line, will get 2 shots now. He misses the first off the back iron. Looks like that's Jamar Brown checking in for Eric Daly. And Roddy Gale's looking to check in as well.
Looking at Adai Mara here, you might end up seeing a hack-a-shack technique being played. When you can't defend inside the paint and you know he's a below 500 free throw shooter, you're going to see some fouls.
Totally agree with you there. So he makes the second. Wolverines lead 6-3, and Roddy Gale checks in for Mara. And here we go with the press again. Roddy Gale right on Perry, guarding him closely. Perry crosses the half-court mark, 22 left on the shot clock, gives it up to Dent, and the Wolverines playing really tight defense. Dent drives right side, dribbles back out, bounce pass into Bilodeau. Bilodeau gets it stolen away from Lendeborg. Now Lendeborg, the Bruins do have numbers, so Lendeborg slows it back down. Gale driving in, lobs it up to Johnson, and with the flush.
That's been a specialty of the Wolverines this year, those lobs out to those easy lay-ins or those easy dunks, and that's easy points.
The crowd is hype. Bilodeau finds wide open Brown in the corner, off the front iron. Rebound couldn't be handled by Gale, so it goes to Perry. Perry driving in, crosses the entire court, and he backs back out. Moritz Johnson guarding him closely, right by the Michigan logo. Perry goes left, gives it up to Dent. Dent now, top of the three-point arc. Dent gives it up to Brown, pardon me. Bilodeau now inside over Gale, no good. Rebound by Lendeborg. Lendeborg now pushing the pace a little bit, going to the other side. Drives on Bilodeau, spin move, tough play.
A beautiful bucket there. That's really what makes him so special, is that he's big, but he has all these moves you can make to get to the rim.
Great speed and vision by Lendeborg to see the open lane and get down. Donovan Dent now driving left side. Gives it up to Perry, who's going left side as well. Little floater, no good there. Rebound by Brown, however, and great job by Brown to stick with it. And he gets the bucket. So 10-5, Wolverines lead. 15 minutes left in the half. Lendeborg's three-point, no good. And looks like a loose ball foul on Roddy Gale. And we go to our first media timeout with the Wolverines up 10-5, 14:58 left in the first half. And man, what a fast start by the Wolverines. In my opinion, the score doesn't really dictate how dominant it feels, at least. I mean, this crowd is pumped up. The Wolverines are playing fast on offense, and they're getting good stops on defense. What have you seen so far?
Well, I mean, that's exactly it. You go in, you pressure them, you can't get anything inside, and most of their points, almost all coming from that 1-3 that you had. You can't get any points inside. You're not going to be able to keep up with the pace that the Wolverines are playing at, especially when they can just invade your paint.
For sure. Xavier Booker, 45% three-point shooter coming from Michigan State. So you would obviously expect he's not getting the warmest welcome here in Ann Arbor, but he had that big three, shooting 1 for 1 from the field. And I mean, the Bruins, they've only attempted 7 shots, made 2 of them, with the Wolverines 4 for 9 so far. However, 0 for 4 from three-point for Michigan. Obviously, three-point shooting is a little bit has been a little bit inconsistent so far this year. You have streaks where it's Trey McKinney knocking them down. LJ Kaysen was hot from 3 at the start of the season, and Amari Burnett obviously was on fire against Penn State just the other night. But overall, not the best three-point shooting team. They really strive down low in the paint with these bigs, and you're really seeing that so far this first half with Lendeborg playing fast, Morris Johnson getting a block already, and Adai Mara. I mean, wow. The way that he started that game with that behind-the-back pass to Morris Johnson was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a real tone setter. And you look at another one of their bigger players, Morris Johnson Jr., he's got 5 minutes, 7 points already. 3 for 3 in the field goal, 1 off at the and one. And just really a great start for him as well, and they're going to really work on him.
Man, Morris Johnson transferred from Illinois. I don't think anybody expected him to be this dominant this season, but he's the second leading scorer for the Wolverines, right behind Yaxel Lendeborg. And we talked about this at the start. The Wolverines, they have such a deep team. I mean, you see consistently they're putting up 80 to 90 points, and they have multiple people scoring in the double digits. This Wolverines team, they can hit you in many different ways. It's a very dangerous team, and with Arizona falling just earlier this week to Kansas, the #1 ranking is up in the question right now. The Wolverines, I'm sure they would love to have a dominant performance today to really cement themselves as the #1 team.
Yeah, the bigger picture there is that is a Darren Peterless Kansas that beat them. Did not participate in that game. That's what they've been calling him, did not participate. But going in now, you can see this win could be huge for that #1 ranking up in the air now.
For sure, and just confidence too, going on the road, Purdue, and then of course that big game against Duke in Washington, D.C., and then going on the road once again to Illinois. I mean, all of these games towards the end of the season, these are huge for the Wolverines here, trying to win that regular season Big Ten title. I believe they're 2 games ahead of Illinois right now, which is absolutely massive, but cannot lose the easy ones like this one, cannot lose the ones that you're supposed to win, especially with, you know, going on the road down to a Mackey center that's going to be absolutely thriving. And here we go, Donovan Dent dribbling up for the Bruins now, and Sky Clark is in the game, making his first debut in a while, coming off the injury. And here he is, Sky Clark gives it back up to Dent. Dent working left side, guarded by Lendeborg. Gives it back up to Sky Clark, top of the three-point arc. Sky Clark now dribbling around, no penetration available for the Bruins. Gives it back to Dent, left wing. 2 seconds left on the shot clock. Little step side move, and no good there, and a rebound by Mara. So the Wolverines now, they take control, moving quickly down the court. Lendeborg, right side, working on Dent, spin move, goes for it, no good, but gets his own offensive board, out muscling everybody and draws the foul.
We saw it happen again where the shot clock was running down and Dent just has to go take ill-advised threes. He's not a great three shooter, and I don't know where the move is there other than moving it around the three-point line when you can't invade at all. They stay outside the three-point line for almost all of their possession, almost every time they're on the Michigan side of the court.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest issues right now, I believe, for UCLA. They just can't get any penetration inside that three-point arc. They're just kind of passing it around, dribbling around the three-point. That's not how you want to run your offense, as Lendeborg converts the first free throw. But it is good to see Sky Clark back. We mentioned this earlier in the broadcast, but he's only played 3 games this season, but in those 3 games, averaging 14.3 games and 50% shooting and 62% from the 3. I mean, he's a huge key to victory today. Lendeborg misses the second. And here we go again, the Bruins coming back now. Dent dribbling up the court, going right side, gives it up to Jamerson. Bilodeau, 3 from the left wing, no good, and Cadeau with a tough rebound over Sky Clark. Gives it up to Lendeborg now, who dribbles back up for the Wolverines. Kaysen, top of the three-point arc. Kaysen, big game last time around against Northwestern. Gives it back up to Cadeau, right on that Michigan logo. Roddy Gale, open from 3, splash!
And that breaks the streak for Michigan, their first 3 of the game, and that will be looking to add momentum to this team. And like we said, when they get it, they don't let it up.
For sure. Crowd on their feet now. Donovan Dent trying to work on Elliot Cadeau. Switched on to Lendeborg, driving left side. Does a little spin move, goes back around up to the top of the three-point arc. Sky Clark now up by the Michigan logo. Tough screen. 3 from the right wing, and he screens it. And that's kind of why you need Sky Clark back in this lineup. Elliot Cadeau, though, finds a wide open LJ Kaysen, other side of the court, and he makes the 3 as well.
Momentum is back. We talked about LJ Kaysen earlier, how he can really light it up if he has that time. And he did there. That was a wide open look for him.
Great find by Elliot Cadeau. Left to right pass. And now Donovan Dent working on LJ Kaysen, left side of the wing. Screen coming by Jamerson. Dent driving in, nothing there. Passes to Bilodeau, who cuts, and that's a great layup by Bilodeau. And Lendeborg just driving all the way to the other side of the court, draws the foul.
Looking back at that last UCLA possession, we saw Dent make a really great pass out there to Bilodeau to get that lay. And that's really been one of the best things about Dent's season this year is his assists. He's one of the best passers in the Big Ten right now, and he's coming off of seasons at New Mexico where he really wasn't the greatest passer. And now he's got all these kind of weapons playing on those JT Toppin teams at New Mexico. Of course, he did have some weapons, but nowhere near the amount that he does here.
Totally agree with you there, and that's exactly the type of offense that UCLA needs to run. They need a win by passing in. They can't just drive down. The Michigan Wolverines are just way too big and strong to, and the Bruins are just at such a size disadvantage that they need to run these sets and find a cutting Bilodeau down to make him go up and under. Those are the types of creativity and screens that the UCLA offense needs to stay in this one tonight. But Lendeborg converts both free throws, so they are up now 19-10, 12 minutes left in the first half, and a full court press by the Wolverines, but the Bruins break it pretty easily. Now Sky Clark, left wing, gives it back up to Perry, right by the Michigan logo. Screen by Jamerson, goes left side, now he drives back right by the elbow. Bad pass to Brown. But UCLA Bruins resetting now. Sky Clark driving all the way in, and blocked by Adai Mara, who gives it up to Trey McKinney. Michigan Wolverines do have numbers. LJ Kaysen fakes the 3, drives in. And looks like it got stripped away, and it will be Wolverines' ball still.
Adai Mara, another big block there, really preventing any kind of inside scoring at all. And we've seen these screens try to work out for UCLA where they're trying to invade, but then they just step right back out behind the three-point line.
And it looks like the ball will go to the Bruins. So it is Trent Perry now dribbling up for the Bruins. Met right past the half-court mark by Trey McKinney. Switched. And now Bilodeau, deep 3. No good. Roddy Gale goes for the rebound, and it bounces off his foot, so ball will stay with UCLA. But man, I mean, Wolverines up 9 right now with 11:41 left in this first half. What have you seen so far from the Wolverines that's been working well for them?
Well, we saw the threes get back into it. We saw Roddy Gale and LJ Kaysen come in with some good looks, end up knocking them down. And that's going to be huge for your momentum when you can finally make those first threes and really break that bad streak that you had starting with Namari Burnett. And now hopefully that kind of momentum spreads to the rest of the team, and you can see more wide open looks. You can see, oh, we have to go look out. We have to guard beyond that three-point line. We can't just look in the paint. We can't just double on the inside. So now we're going to have to go full court around. You're going to open up guys' looks.
I totally agree with you there. I think these bigs are really going to open up some clean looks from 3 for these guards. They got to be the ones to drain them down. Now for UCLA, I mean, they've started to find more success. I will say Sky Clark coming into this game has already been huge. He's already made a 3, made some good passes, and he's just such a good spacer on the floor, giving some open looks for Bilodeau, and a great pass by Dent, as you mentioned earlier, to find Bilodeau cutting down the baseline, going up and under for the easy lay. But that's really what the UCLA Bruins need to do. They can't just, you know, dribble around the three-point arc, pass around the three-point arc, and chuck up a shot as the shot clock is winding down. But it's really hard for them to penetrate into this into the paint against this big Michigan Wolverines team. So they got to find creative ways to do it through screens, back screens, off-ball screens, things such as that. And I do believe that Sky Clark is going to be crucial in doing that, just because he's going to be such a important spacer with shooting 62% from 3 as well.
Yeah, Sky Clark shooting 62%, but albeit on a very low volume, only the 3 games he's played in this year. Tyler Bilodeau, also a talented three-point shooter, but you can't rely on them fully. You have to be able to work your way into the paint.
Totally agree with you there. So far, I mean, this environment here at Chrysler has been unbelievable. Wolverines off to a pretty fast start, 19-10. You see them pushing the pace on offense. So if you're Dusty May, you can't ask much more from your team except for maybe starting to hit some of these open three-pointers. There's some missed free throws as well from Mara and Lendeborg. But you still have to be pretty happy if you're Dusty May right now in that huddle.
Yeah, really excellent defense all the way around for Michigan. Only 1 foul so far for a shooting foul. That's really been what we've seen that I think that was really great, is that you have the size advantage. You're blocking shots. You're contesting these shots. Only 1 shooting foul.
Yeah, that's huge, and that's the reason why this Wolverines team has been so dominant is that they're bigs. They play so physical, but they do it in such a clean way that they don't get called called a lot for those fouls. As we're coming out of the timeout now, looks like Cheddar, Kaysen, McKinney, Mara, and Johnson. Or actually, it'll be Gale instead of Mara for the Wolverines. The Bruins have not broken their huddle yet. Looks like McCronen's trying to squeeze out as much time as possible. But it will be Brown, Jamerson, Clark, Bilodeau, and Perry. And it will be UCLA ball coming out of the baseline.
We talked about this Wolverine depth. This is a majority depth lineup right now. That's really been what's great for them, is that they can give these starters some rest. We can bring it back in, look fresh right in a few minutes after playing with some great basketball with these backup guys.
That's definitely huge for the Wolverines. Perry now gives it up to Clark in the right corner. Clark, jab step back, gives it back up to Perry. Top of the key, Perry driving down, draws the foul, bounces around, doesn't convert the and one, but he will have a pair of free throws at the charity stripe.
UCLA only shot 2 so far, but they're 0 for both.
Yeah, 0 for 2 from the line. UCLA, not a terrible free throw shooting team. Pretty average in the Big Ten. But it'll be Trent Perry, the sophomore, out of California. He makes the first. So the score is 19-11 now. Wolverines lead, 11-30 left in the half. And Perry makes both of them. So here we go, Wolverines now back on offense. LJ Kaysen dribbling up, guarded by Sky Clark, gives it to Cheddar, who gives it back up to Johnson, top of the 3. McKinney now with the ball. By the logo, Kaysen at the wing, step back, and splash! What a move by LJ Kaysen, just a little jab step back, hits the 3, Wolverines up by 10, and the crowd is back into it now. Sky Clark dribbling up for the Wolverines. Trey McKinney guarding him closely right at the Michigan logo. 17 left on the shot clock, and an off-ball foul. It looks like this one will go on the Wolverines. But what a 3 by LJ Kaysen, starting to get his confidence back offensively with last game now, carrying over to this one tonight.
Yeah, you talked about that, how great that move was. That jab step really, I think, really fooled his defender. He just shook him right off, got a really open look. Initially, even that first little fake shot, that pump fake he threw up, kind of got him off guard too.
Great moves by Kaysen. Now it's Perry, left wing, working on Gale, driving in. Kind of backs out a little bit and stripped, but out of bounds on Gale. Great defense by Roddy Gale. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. The UCLA Bruins will have a chance to run a blob. Let's see what they go for here. And nothing there, but another off-ball foul on the Wolverines. This one on Will Cheddar. Second personal already. Dusty May not too happy about that one. So we'll try it one more time. It's the Bruins now. Baseline out of bounds play. Gives it up to Perry, left wing. Back to Dent, who drives in. And great move by Dent, attacking the paint and getting the easy lay.
Dent has a really deep layup package, really great. Whenever
for sure. LJ Kaysen, deep 3. Heat check, nothing there. Rebounded by Bilodeau. Gives it up to Dent now, and Dent's moving back the other way. Screen by Jamerson. Dent, left side. Nothing there. Dribbles back out, goes back up towards the middle, gives it up to Perry, right wing. He's going towards the middle, working on Cheddar. Perry now looking to drive in, gives it back up to Dent. Gives it into Bilodeau, working on Roddy Gale, tries to back him down. One-handed floater, no good. Rebounded by Perry, however, and he gets the easy lay.
Yeah, that heat check three from Kaysen, that could really be a shift in momentum here. When, you know, as a team that just came back from a 13-point deficit, you can't be shooting like that early in the game.
Morris Johnson now working on Jamerson, playing very close defense, gives it up to Kaysen. Kaysen working on Brown, driving in. What a pass by Kaysen to find him open to Morris Johnson, and he gets the easy lay.
And that's a good recovery there, working inside, finding easy buckets, keeping your lead safe.
LJ Kaysen guarding Donovan Dent very closely now. Donovan Dent slowing things down for the Bruins. Switched on to Will Cheddar. Dent, left side, pulls up from the elbow. No good. But what a board by Jamerson, and he gets it back up, and that one is in.
Donovan Dent, still no jump shots made on the day.
Will Cheddar gives it up to Morris Johnson, top of three. Gives it back to Kaysen, who, and it just gets passed around the three-point arc to Roddy Gale, left side, all the way cross court to McKinney. Extra pass to Kaysen, who drives in. Easy lay.
It's really great ball movement around the three-point line to really just find an open spot for LJ Kaysen to look into the rim.
Ball movement indeed. LJ Kaysen having a phenomenal start offensively so far. Donovan Dent now trying to get some momentum on offense. Drives in, goes for the lob for Jamerson, but Morris Johnson gets a hand in there, tips it out of there. LJ Kaysen now. McKinney, right wing, pulls the three. No good. But the offensive rebound by Will Cheddar. However, he steps out of bounds.
Going in, we're seeing a lot from this break out of these starters coming in, and now waiting for these subs to come on for Michigan. You got to think, look at the momentum they've had even without their starters in.
Yeah, 26-18 lead for the Wolverines. And those bench guys played a huge role in building that 8-point lead, but Lendeborg and Mara check back in, as well as Cadeau. Donovan Dent now working for the Bruins, goes left side. Slow to dribble in, moves back to the right, gives it up to Brown, who drives right, passes it to Perry, right wing, three, and he drains it. So the Wolverines lead now only by 5. Bruins starting to make a slight comeback. Cadeau gives it up to Lendeborg. Left side of the corner. Cadeau, deep three, in and out. And a board by Perry. Gives it to Dent. Dent now driving down left side, slows things down. Gives it up to Perry, and he's driving down. And a foul on Cadeau.
We're starting to see a trend for UCLA here. You start taking those threes and you start making them, you're going to start seeing a lowering of that deficit that you're in. Now only a 5-point lead for Michigan, and they're going to have to work on that perimeter defense.
Shooting 43% from three so far this game are the UCLA Bruins. Their leading scorer, Trent Perry, with 7 points, 2 for 4, and he just hit that three right there, 1 for 1 from the three-point arc. For the Wolverines, they're only shooting 30%, 3 for 10. Obviously, Namari Burnett missed 3 early on, and good looks as well. Trey McKinney has missed 1. Elliot Cadeau has missed 1 as well. Elliot Cadeau, however, with 3 assists, so still making his mark on this game, even though he has 0 points. LJ Kaysen, though, what a start for him. I mean, 8 points already. He's had a phenomenal game last time around against Northwestern, a key piece in making that incredible comeback. So he's already starting off hot, and you really need that coming off the bench, bringing the energy, especially on the defensive end. And LJ Kaysen recently catching fire on the offensive side as well.
Yeah, what Michigan really needs to work on right now is that rebounding. They're getting out-rebounded 14-7, 6 offensive boards for UCLA. They're getting a lot of second-chance points here, and you're going to have to stop that if you want to keep your lead going.
Yeah, you don't really expect the Wolverines to be losing the rebound battle, considering the fact that they have such a huge size advantage. Why do you think they are losing this rebound battle right now?
Well, I just think there's been some unlucky bounces, obviously, but the guards are just playing really well and trying to box out and get up there, and they're getting those second chance points on the outside, and they're moving the ball around well once they do get those rebounds.
Totally agree with you there. Trent Perry, 3 rebounds. I mean, he's flying down, crashing the boards. just a 6'4" guard, but he already is making his mark here on this game on the glass as well. But 26-21, the Wolverines still lead, and it still feels like they have a lot of momentum and energy in this game. Just can't let these threes for UCLA start building up. You really got to still play that tight defense, especially around the three-point arc. The Bruins are still struggling to get the ball into the paint, however, in my opinion. They're just still taking a long time to pass it around the three-point arc, and huge credit to the Wolverines defense for that. They're making it extremely, extremely hard for the Bruins to get any good looks, especially within the three-point arc.
Yeah, if you as a team choose to live and die by the three, it's going to more likely lean to die. So you definitely can't just afford to sit there and shoot up threes for the rest of the game. Michigan, on the other hand, they've shown a lot of versatility on offense, and that's really going to help them keep their lead going and help them keep a momentum into the game.
Agree with you there. We're coming out of this timeout now. So like we said, Wolverines with a 5-point lead, 26-21, 7:34 left in the first half. And a great start for them so far, bringing the energy. For the Wolverines, it'll be Johnson, Mara, Lendeborg, Cadeau, and McKinney. For the Bruins, it'll be, looks like it's Dent, Brown, Jamerson, Bilodeau, and Trent Perry. So it's Dent to take it out from the baseline. Nothing there, just kind of floats it up to Perry, who does a great job of handling it. Bilodeau now left wing, gives it up to Dent in the corner, guarded by Mara. All the way across court, great passing by the Bruins to find an open look for Dent, but he does not convert. And rebounded by Lendeborg. So Lendeborg now driving down for the Wolverines, slowing things down. Gives it up to Mara, left side. Mara now. It's poked away, but I believe the possession will retain with the Wolverines, and yes, it does. So Amari Burnett will check in now for Morris Johnson.
Dent, another missed jumper, just not been his night outside of the one layup he's had for 2 points.
It'll be Cadeau to bring it in for the Wolverines on the baseline. We'll see what the Wolverines run here. Just kind of floats it up to Lendeborg, who gets fouled. Looks like a little push by Perry. Pretty good defense by the Bruins, however. And that looks like it will put Liaxel Lendeborg to the line and into the bonus. And with 7 minutes left already in the bonus, that's not really what you want to see for the Bruins.
Both teams heavy on fouls right now. 6 for Michigan, 7 for UCLA. Definitely going to want to look to stop that.
Lendeborg's first one is good. Lendeborg now with his second shot. And that one rattles around and rolls in, so converts both from the charity stripe, 2 for 2. And now it is Dent to dribble up for the Bruins. Met by McKinney right past half court. Dent now gives it up to Brown. Back to Dent, driving down low into the paint. Tries to lob it up. Nope, just a floater, and he converts. So little mishap by the Wolverines there on defense, but they still maintain a 5-point lead. Elliot Cadeau now right side, gives it to Mara for 3. Off the back iron, no good. Donovan Dent going back for the Bruins. Loses his dribble a little bit, but picks it back up. Gives it to Jamerson, back to Dent, left side, and an offensive foul on Jamerson, a legal screen.
You saw Mara put up that 3. Looks like he pushed it a little bit, but trying to get the crowd excited, I'm sure.
And it looks like a tech maybe on Mick Cronin. I mean, we know that he's an extremely animated coach, to put it nicely. He's had a few clips at pressers, but man, you've got to contain your composure here. Maybe trying to fire up his team a little bit too.
Dusty May and Mick Cronin both both pretty heavy characters when it comes to coaches.
Oh, and Yaxel Lendeborg misses his free throw. His first one, at least. Here comes the second. Makes the second. So Mick Cronin now has to be careful with one technical foul. The Wolverines will still maintain possession because it was a tech. Roddy Gale checks in. And Brandon Williams checks in for the first time tonight as well for the Bruins. Cadeau now with the ball, dribbling up for the Wolverines. Screen coming from Mara, moves right side. Burnett, left wing, driving in. Spin move, gives it up to Mara by the free throw line. Guarded closely by Jamerson, back to Cadeau. Cadeau to Lendeborg, right side. Lendeborg driving in, little floater, no good. Going for the board. However, the Bruins do maintain. So now it's Dent going back for the Bruins, going aggressive, and his floater is no good. Good defense by Mara. So Yaxel Lendeborg now gives it up to Roddy Gale, left side. Roddy Gale trying to penetrate, nothing there. Yaxel Lendeborg slowing things down in that right corner. Lendeborg backing down, finds a cutting Mara, draws the foul.
In that last Michigan possession before this, we saw a ball that was about to go out of bounds recovered by UCLA, and that's really been one of the things that they've done great today, is that they've seen those balls that other teams might see slip out of their hands, go out of their hands out of bounds, and give possession to the other team. They don't let those go. They've been keeping every single opportunity they've had with them.
UCLA's hustle is, there's no question about it. Mick Cronin coaches a team that will play fast and die for every ball. As Adai Mara misses his first free throw. Checking into the game now is Tyler Bilodeau and Sky Clark, as Jamerson and Brown will take a seat. Adai Mara now, like we said, 48% free throw shooter, definitely not a strong suit. Back up to the line. And he goes 1 for 2, converts the second. So the Wolverines have a 23 lead, 5:30 left in the first half. Donovan Dent now driving left side, stops at the three-point arc, backs back out. Relaxing now, goes left side into the paint, finds Williams wide open for three, and no good for him. Fighting for the rebound is Perry, and he does a great job saving it, passing it up to Bilodeau. Bilodeau driving in, jump stop, no good. Great defense by Mara, rebounded by him as well. Gives it back up to Lendeborg now. Lendeborg going right side. Gives it back up to Cadeau, right by the Michigan logo. And the Wolverines slowing things down now. Working on Williams and Cadeau, a little behind the back, going in, and what a drive by Elliot Cadeau, finishing the layup.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about Elliot Cadeau's shooting ability, especially when he was coming out as a transfer from UNC. But really, he makes up for it in everything else he does on the court. He's a great passer. He's really great at getting to the rim. He's really great with the layups. And he's got a lot of basketball IQ, and I think it's really what makes him a whole player.
100%. So it looks like a timeout by the Bruins with 4:49 left in the first half. Wolverines lead by 9, 32-23. And talking a little bit more about Elliot Cadeau, I've made this, I've said this before, but he really came in to replace Trey Donaldson, right? And you think of Trey Donaldson as more of a point getter, more of a bucket scorer, more of a, we need a guy to make a clutch bucket, as we saw against that Maryland game last year in the Big Ten tournament. But what Elliot Cadeau thrives in is he's more of a distributor. He's more of a passer, and he has better vision than Trey Donaldson, in my opinion. But he's also been proving himself as a scorer this season, much improved from the three-point line, shooting from the three-point arc, shooting 40% from three. And obviously, we see him with that amazing drive. He has just such a shifty player and such a great passer as well, leading assist getter for the Wolverines, averaging around 5.5 a game. So just so incredibly crucial to this Wolverines team. All right, coming out of the timeout, Donovan Dent now dribbling up for the Wolverines, guarded closely by Roddy Gale. Just got past half court on that Michigan logo. Dent driving in straight into the paint. And an offensive foul. Another one called on UCLA. I believe that's their third offensive foul of the night.
Michigan drawing a lot of offensive fouls today. It's really been great defense all around by them, and that's really what marks a great defense is if you're forcing these offensive fouls, and it really feels like they're forcing these because they're really desperate to get into the paint.
So now it's Cadeau working for the Wolverines. Cadeau gives it to Burnett in the corner. A little step back for the three. No good, so he hasn't been able to connect yet, but what a board by Roddy Gale. Lendeborg pump fakes, drives in, draws the foul.
Burnett moving to 0 for 4 from 3. That was definitely his worst look of the night out of all 4. But I would say if he keeps shooting those, eventually one will come down. I could definitely see some momentum going with him, and then he can make a few more.
Amari Burnett shooting 40% from 3 so far this season, averaging 9 points a game. He's been ice cold so far, 0 for 4 from the field, all of them being 3-point shots, scoring 0 points, 0 rebounds, and 0 assists. So I haven't seen his impact yet, but as one of the senior leaders on this team, you have no doubt that he'll make his mark later in this game as Yaxel Lendeborg converts. So now the Wolverines lead extends back up to 10. And the UCLA Bruins 0 points in the last 2.5 minutes. A little bit of a cold streak for them. Donovan Dent takes a seat now, and Eric Daly checks in. Yaxel Lendeborg 1 for 2, misses the second. So Clark now dribbling up for the Bruins. Clark driving left side, step back, gives it back up to Jamerson, hands it back off to Clark. Perry now finds Daly in the corner, drives in, gives it back up to Perry, goes towards the free throw line, and the jumper is good. Great shot by Perry. Cadeau now going back for the Wolverines. Finds Burnett driving down, and that's how you get his rhythm back. What a slam by Amari Burnett.
Yeah, great work by him. Sitting out in the corner, a lot of times you're going to think he's going to take another 3 because he's 0 for 4 on the night, but no, he drives in and he gets that dunk.
Energy booster for the Wolverines. Perry now working down. Gives it back up to Daly. Goes for the jumper, no good. Rebound by Jamerson, back out to Clark. Pump fakes the 3, bounce pass Bilodeau, wide open in the corner, splash.
Yeah,
Great find by Clark.
Another second chance point there. That's their 8th offensive rebound of the night.
UCLA doing great on the offensive boards. Still down by 7, however, 35-28, 3 minutes left in the half. Wolverines, Mari Burnett, what a drive, spin move. Wow, clean by Amari Burnett.
A great way to keep his balance off that spin there. He really looked like he was about to fall down. He just kept his way upright and got that bucket.
Bilodeau gives it to Perry. Perry drives all the way in, kicks it back out to Jamerson, hands it to Clark. Clark drives in, loses the handle. Players are diving on the ground. Mari Burnett comes up with it. Burnett now going coast to coast, gives it up to Mara, and with an easy lay. What vision by Amari Burnett. We talked about he's going to make his impact as a senior leader, and he's doing just that. The energy's back in this building. 39-28 lead for the Wolverines. Bilodeau for 3, and he silences the crowd with that one, as that one is straight in the net.
Great work by Burnett there, really coming off of a 0 for 4 stretch from 3, and then just coming in a point, assists. That's really a great way to get your momentum back.
Elliot Cadeau now working for the Wolverines on Sky Clark. Tipped by Clark, goes back up to Cadeau though. Cadeau, and a foul by Jamerson. Got a little bit too handsy there. And it looks like there will be some subs coming in as well as a media timeout. But man, I mean, as soon as we talk about Amari Burnett being a little bit cold from 3, he goes and he makes his mark on this game. 2 crucial drives, 1 big flush, and another just amazing spin move into the lay, and then gets an incredible assist as well. I mean, as a senior leader on this team, you expect him to be calm and collected and just kind of still be composed, even though the slow start for him offensively, and that's exactly what he did, making his mark in this latter half of the first half.
Yeah, Michigan 3 for 3 on their last possessions, all 3 coming from the hand of Amari Burnett, either by assist or by a point. Starting 0 for 4 and then coming back like that, it's really great, and it shows some great leadership. I think that's really what also is a part of this Michigan success is their leaders on the team, their seniors, their senior leaders. You have some guys like Yaxel who are newcomers to the team but are still really great locker room leaders.
100%, and obviously Will Cheddar, team captain of this Wolverines team, longest tenured Wolverine. I mean, he's stuck around through some dark ages, missing 2 tournaments, but coming back. And I mean, now he's a part of the #2 team of the nation, the energy guy off the bench. So shout out to Will Cheddar. But the Wolverines right now, 39-31 lead, 2 minutes left in the half. The energy's been high for the Wolverines. They've been pushing the tempo on offense. Some big slams. Not a lot of success from 3, however. Shooting 3 for 12, with 2 coming from LJ Kaysen and 1 coming from Roddy Gale. You'd love to see that 25% from the 3-point arc go up going into the second half. But still, a 9-point lead, and I think a big story of this one is just the fact that LJ Kaysen coming off the bench has been absolutely dominant. I mean, he's been giving starters like Elliot Cadeau a break, and I feel like you said earlier, the fact that you allow these starters to rest is just absolutely huge. And the truth is, you probably could take Kaysen, McKinney, Cheddar, and Gale off the bench and put alongside a big with them, and they'd still be a top team in the Big Ten. I mean, these guys are just that talented. So it's just such a strong Wolverines team. You have Morris Johnson with 9 points, Yaxel Lendeborg with 9 points, LJ Kaysen with 8 for the Wolverines. Those are your leading scorers. For the Bruins, Perry with 9 and Bilodeau with 8.
Yeah, really, really great depth from the Wolverines, and that's really going to come into play more so tournament postseason when you're playing those games back to back to back to back, and your guys are getting rests in between. They're going to be more energized than the other teams they're playing that are playing their starters for maybe close to like 35 minutes a game. You're going to see them come out with more energy, and you're going to see them overpower those other teams. Yeah,
UCLA on the other hand, they definitely play a smaller lineup. Especially with Perry and Daly and Tyler Bilodeau averaging around 30 minutes a game each, just a little bit under for some of them. But, I mean, these guys, they play a majority of the minutes, so you wonder if attrition will play into this game, especially during the second half. I expect the Wolverines to run away with it in the latter half of the second half coming out of the break, and that's purely just because of attrition as well. But coming out of the timeout now, Elliot Cadeau will get 2 free throws, and the Wolverines are in the bonus plus. So 12 fouls for the Bruins already, as opposed to the Wolverines 6. Cadeau, a 69% free throw shooter, makes the first. So that extends the lead to 9, 40-31, the Wolverines lead. Just about 2 minutes left in the first half, and he gets 1 more shot. And that one's no good, off the back iron, rebounded by Bilodeau. Gives it up to Dent. And Dent now working for the Bruins, met by McKinney. Dent going right side, driving in, being aggressive. Cheddar now, jump stop, nothing there. Bilodeau driving in. And that's a great lay by Tyler Bilodeau. Elliot Cadeau now for the Wolverines. Cadeau, screened by Johnson, gives it up to Johnson, bounce pass, couldn't handle it, and the Bruins come up with it. So turnover for the Wolverines there, and Donovan Dent now going back the other way. 1:30 left in the half, down by 7. He goes right side, working on Cheddar, drives all the way in. Looking for somebody to pass it back out to. It's gonna be Daly, right wing, at the 3-point arc. Daly driving in himself, and a foul called on LJ Kaysen, I believe. But we've seen that a lot from Donovan Dent tonight, driving in, trying to be aggressive, but the Wolverines are just too big and too athletic to get to prevent Dent from getting to his spots down low, and he just has to pass it back out.
Yeah, and then whenever you go back into this team, when they started off early, they had poor three-point shooting, but now going in, they're nearly 50%, so you can't have that all the time now. You might have to work more on the perimeter.
100%. Eric Daly misses his first free throw. I believe he's missed his free throws earlier tonight as well.
It's like,
pardon, that was Xavier Booker who has. So he's 0 for 1 so far, is Eric Daly, but he gets a second shot now today. And his second goes in. So Jamar Brown checks in for Daly. Wolverines lead by 6, 40-34. Minute 13 left in the half. Elliot Cadeau now. Dribbling up, met by Dent. Right past half court. Bounce pass to McKinney, left side, jab step. Drives in. Flips it around, flips the court, going to the other side now. Back up to Kaysen. Kaysen now. He looks to be aggressive. Loses the handle a little bit. Pass back out to Cadeau with a deep three. No good. Rebounded by Brown. And now it's Perry. 40 seconds left in the half. As he slows things down. Perry, screen coming from Brown. He slips out to the right side. Perry driving in, guarded by Cheddar. Great move by Perry to get the easy lay. Wolverines now, shot clock is turned off. They lead by 4, 20 seconds left, and it looks like Dusty May will take a timeout. So just like that, the lead goes from 10 to 4 in a matter of what feels like a minute. And man, I mean, the Wolverines started to lose some steam here going into the half. Still up by 4, but you would love to, a big bucket, some type of Elliot Cadeau, Mara pick and roll slam, or maybe a open 3 in the corner, something like that. You have 22 seconds to work with, no shot clock. You got to take the last shot here, but getting a big bucket to end the half will definitely help with their momentum as they've started to pull down towards the end of this half.
Yeah, UCLA now 4 for 4 in their last possessions. 36-40 score, Michigan leading. And what we've seen is that Bilodeau and Perry have really been able to get to the rim and get easy layups for easy points. And that's really not going to help you whenever you're going around and you're putting up turnovers off of those, like that Elliot Cadeau shot, little long 3 that just doesn't go anywhere. And you're going to get those turnovers for free off the rebound. So you're going to have to make sure that you're at least guarding out from the 3 or you're guarding inside for those layups whenever you do have those guys that can get inside like that.
100%. 3-guard lineup for the Wolverines. Cadeau, Kaysen, and McKinney alongside Mara and Lendeborg. For the Bruins, it's going to be Dent, Bilodeau, Perry, Williams, and Brown. Yaxel inbounds it to Cadeau, and looks like they'll just drain some clock. 20 left on the clock now. McKinney comes up to the ball. He gets the ball with 15, top of the key, right by that three-point logo. Right side, Elliot Cadeau with the 10. Yaxel Lendeborg drives down, bounce pass to Kaysen, tipped out of bounds. And it will be UCLA ball with 7 seconds left, and this is not great for the Wolverines. If UCLA can get a big bucket here, that'd be a huge momentum swing for them. Make it a one-possession game going into half. Some subs here. Looks like UCLA is checking in some shooters with Sky Clark. Wolverines checking in some defensive players and Morez Johnson and Roddy Gale. So the ball's rolled in. Donovan Dent now moving in, driving straight to the paint. And his bucket is good. So a one-possession game, 40-38, and man, you've got to be a little bit disappointed if you're Dusty May and the Wolverines. You had such a big lead with around 2:30 left in the half, and that lead just shrunk so quickly. UCLA got, we talked about how they couldn't get any penetration in the first half of the game. However, during the past 2 minutes or so, they've been doing a great job driving in, being aggressive, and just finding the holes in this Michigan defense, and they only lead by 2 points now. So a tight one here in Ann Arbor as the Wolverines lead by 40-38. But I mean, in my opinion, it feels to me that the Wolverines have dominated this game despite what the score says. So you have to be at least a little bit disappointed if you are Dusty May.
Yeah, those last 5 minutes, they really let up on the gas. Coming in, letting them drive to the rim, letting them get those easy layups. You're going to probably see a Mara getting a little bit more minutes in the second half, trying to prevent that. And then what we saw early in the game, whenever they were defensively just absolutely dominant, was that press that they had gotten going. And they just completely stopped doing that around the second half of this half. So you might see a return to that, and we saw in the game against Maryland that going to that press really helped them out, really got them to get that defensive momentum that let them come back from that game and win.
Totally agree with you there. The UCLA Bruins ended this first half on a 7-0 run, while the Michigan Wolverines had a scoring drought in the past 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Not how you really wanted to end it if you're the Wolverines. However, they still lead by 2. And in this environment, it's going to be tough for UCLA to come back, in my opinion. They really need some of those three-pointers to start falling. alongside the Wolverines as well. You would love to see, especially some of the open shots start falling. But what do you think the Wolverines need to do to pull away with this one?
Like I said, I want to see more Adai Mara minutes. I want to see more bigs coming in because you were letting in too easy of those layups there. They were just invading. There was nobody there to contest them at all. And even before, they weren't really fouling that often. They didn't even get to the bonus plus this half. So you're obviously being disciplined on defense, but you might need to contest a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. If you're UCLA, what you got to focus on is still just driving down. I mean, it was working so well at the end of that first half, finding holes in that Michigan defense, getting easy buckets, easy layups, using the court vision in their passing to their advantage. But as we step aside here after this first half, the Wolverines are up 40-38 against the UCLA Bruins here in Chrysler Center in Ann Arbor. I'm Reynold Wei, joined by Max Wood. RJ Murphy and Cleo Washington will be taking you guys home, and we'll be right back.
The success of past teams and create a bond with the current team for the future. Today, we would like to welcome to the court 3 teams that are celebrating anniversaries of Big Ten Conference championships. First, we would like to recognize the 1985-86 Michigan basketball team, who is celebrating the 40-year reunion of the Big Ten championship. The team, under the direction of head coach Bill Frieder, finished the season 28-5. Winning the Big Ten championship and earning the number 2 seed in the 1986 NCAA Men's Division I basketball tournament. Please welcome to the floor members of the 1986 Big Ten championship team. Their final 4-win and national championship appearance, the team under the direction of head coach Johnny Orr finished the season 25-7 and defeated previously unbeaten Rutgers 86-70 in the Final Four. Please welcome down to the court members of the 1975-76 squad. And finally, we would like to recognize the 1965-66 Michigan basketball team that is celebrating the 60-year reunion of the Big Ten championship. Under the direction of head coach Dave Schramm, the team playing its home games in Fielding Rose Fieldhouse finished the season 18-8, won the Big Ten Conference championship, and finished 7th in the coaches poll. Representing the team today, please welcome to the floor Chris Zimmerman and the one and only Cassie Russell. Michigan fans, let's hear it one more time for 1966, 1976, and 1986 Michigan basketball teams, as well as all of our Michigan basketball alumni in attendance with us here today.
Michigan fans, get out your phone. This game the QR code on the board right now for your chance to participate in today's Michigan basketball trivia.
Hello everybody and welcome back to WCBN's broadcast of the number 2 Michigan Wolverines versus the UCLA Bruins. About 4 minutes right now until the second half starts. I am RJ Murphy, joined by Cleo Washington, calling the second half here. Close game as Michigan leads 40-38. It was an 11-point game and UCLA became hot to end the first half, cutting it down to a 2-point lead. Cleo, what'd you see there?
Yeah, UCLA did not get off to a well start, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Michigan on the defensive side really was able to switch well early on. Them 4 shots late into the shot clock and obviously used the bigs advantage of Mara and some of the others in order to get bad shot attempts. But what UCLA did in the second half, we were talking earlier that Michigan playing through their bigs is both a strength and a curse, and with the fast level of play that Michigan has, it's good when they're the world beaters, when they're early on in the games, able to get the advantage, get shots off quickly, and have the rebounding advantage. What UCLA, once they're able to settle into the game, they really were able to get the advantage on the offensive glass. Coming into this game, UCLA was averaging about 10 less rebounds a game than Michigan was this season, and in fact, when you look more into the season, this game, in fact, UCLA has the rebound advantage 21-11. They have an 8-3 advantage on the offensive side of the glass rebounding. So they've really slowed down this game. And then what they've also done is trick some of the bigs from Michigan. On some of those last possessions, they're able to quickly cut past some of the bigs, cut past Adaimara in particular, and get behind them, behind the back passes, and things like that in order to get to the lane, because they don't have the size advantage. Michigan's tallest player is 4 inches taller than the tallest player on UCLA. But if they're able to be crafty with players like Bilodeau and get behind the basket in order to get easy layups, that's really something that Michigan has been challenged with so far in this game. We'll see how they adjust in the second half.
Yeah, that's very surprising. UCLA has a 10 rebound advantage over Michigan right now. Completely unexpected coming into this game. For Michigan, it is Merez Johnson leading the way with 9 and LJ Kaysen with 8, as well as Yaxel Lendenberg with 9 as well. UCLA has been led by Trent Perry with 11, and then Tyler Bilodeau with 10. Bilodeau was off to a rough start there, but ended up getting hot, making a couple threes and getting some nice layups there in the second, at the end of the first half. About a minute 45 until the second half starts here. Lendenberg only shooting 1 for 5 from the field, but he has 10 free throws attempted, making 7 of them. He's been very aggressive so far this game. Michigan not shooting the best from 3, only 3 for 13, whereas UCLA is 5 for 11. Michigan 11 for 17 from the free throw line, where UCLA 3 for 6. So Michigan has been much more aggressive getting in the paint. They just haven't been able to convert some of the times, and then UCLA has been winning on the boards.
Yeah, Michigan's been very well in the paint, especially early on in this matchup. They were really dominant, but then UCLA was able to settle in the game. Also, the quickness of the Bruins is on display as well in the first half. Michigan was a little slow to react to some of those, either kick it out and just shoot a 3 or Bilodeau inside. Donovan Dent has been very well for UCLA on the offensive side of the ball. But generally, they've been very quick and able to get past some of these bigs for Michigan. Now, one thing we should watch in the second half, Mick Cronin, the head coach of UCLA, did receive a technical foul. So he sat down a little bit after that technical foul. He's been less involved to see if he gets more involved. And, of course, the second technical foul would result in ejection. But Michigan, if they want to continue to lead in this game, what they need to do is get the ball more in the hands of Merez Johnson. This game really has been played inside the paint. Michigan had the advantage early. UCLA cut into it. And then also slow down on their own offensive side of the possession as well. Get some better shot opportunities. Don't necessarily have to just go down the court and shoot a 3 with Yaxel Lendenberg or have a Cadeau step back 3 or anything like that. They could get set and force UCLA to play against the bigs of Michigan, and that's one way they can come back and make sure they continue to lead in the second half.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Merez Johnson made it look easy in the beginning of the first half, and then Michigan kind of went away from him. I think it's going to be important to get him back involved in here the second half.
In that last game against Northwestern, when Michigan had the 16-point comeback, they rode LJ Kaysen and Trey McKinney a lot in the second half. They haven't been as involved today on the offensive side of the ball, especially. We'll see if they get more play time in the second half. Michigan is in crunch time.
It's going to be the starting lineup out there for Michigan of Cadeau, Burnett, Lendenberg, Johnson, and Mara. UCLA looks to be starting out or trotting out their starting lineup as well of Perry, Booker, Dent, Daly, and Bilodeau. Xavier Booker hit a 3 very quickly there to start the first half, but then I didn't notice him too much out there. It seemed to be more Steven Jamerson out there playing center, doing a pretty good job, getting some offensive rebounds and guarding Merez Johnson and Mara.
Jamerson has been really involved in this game, and Booker was able to get some of the shot opportunities in the first half. He didn't hit it, but right now he's guarding against Mara. That'll be another match to watch in the second half.
It's going to be UCLA to start with the ball. Dent bringing the ball up with Lendenberg guarding. Dent top of the key. He's going to get a screen from Booker, drives right, gets a switch on to Mara. Now in the corner is Dent. Swings top of the key. Bilodeau back to Dent. Dent drives right, baseline, kicks it out to Booker, open in the corner for 3. No good. That was an air ball there. And that ball is off of Daly. It's going to be Michigan basketball as the air ball chants rain down for Xavier Booker.
Even though the shot was missed, UCLA continuing what they did in the first half, really getting set to get the shot they want off. And also, that shot was about sub 8 seconds in the shot clock, so continuing with that.
It's Lenenberg now at the top of the key, finds Cadeau left wing. He gets a screen from Mara, drives right, kicks to Lenenberg. Lenenberg now to Mara at the top of the key. Mara is guarded closely by Booker. Now it's Cadeau with 3 seconds on the shot clock. He finds Mara. Mara's going to have to put it up. A little floater is no good. Another air ball. 2 shots so far and 2 air balls. Good defense being played by UCLA right there.
So Booker, they are really pressing Mara and not allowing him. Mara loves to turn his back and then get a floater. You see he had to do it with about 1 second left in the shot clock, so he was not able to get in a rhythm.
Yep, he was not given any space right there by Booker. It's going to be Trent Perry bringing the ball up for the Bruins. He dribbles at the logo. Gets the screen from Booker, drives right. Now kicks out Booker again for 3. Top of the key, no good. Rebound, Lenenberg. He looks to push. Standing now on the left wing, gets a screen from Cadeau and kicks it into the paint to Mara. Mara finds a wide open Amari Burnett, top of the key. His 3-pointer is good. And Amari Burnett with his first made 3-pointer of the game. He missed 4 there in the first half. Important for him to see one go down. Looks like we had a little fall in the paint. And now it's going to be UCLA inbounding. Michigan leads 43-38 with 18:31 to go in the second half as Trent Perry brings the ball up. This whiteout crowd is loud right now, whipping the towels around. It's a great environment here in Chrysler tonight as Perry is on the left wing, kicks it to Dent. Dent now to Bailey. Bailey drives left, spins back right, pump fakes, back to Dent out. Top of the key, Dent pulls the 3. That's no good off the back iron. Rebound by Booker. And now it's reset out to Perry at the right wing. He's guarded by Burnett. He drives left, kicks it out. Bailey left wing, puts up a shot that is stripped out of his hand by Johnson. It's going to be UCLA ball with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Good defense on that possession by the Wolverines, but Booker able to secure the offensive rebound to give them a second chance.
See, Michigan plays big. Cadeau on that possession, even though he has 7-inch disadvantage against Bailey, who's still able to force that shot outside and then not able to convert.
Booker has it, top of the key. It's going to be Dent at the logo. He jab steps, drives all the way to the paint. Tough layup from Donovan Dent right there over Mara after driving past Lenenberg. That is a good take. 40-43 Wolverines lead as Cadeau takes it up the right side. He finds Burnett, who finds Mara, who finds Lenenberg. Lenenberg now at the left wing holding. He finds Johnson, top key, handoff to Cadeau. Cadeau drives left, gets all the way to the paint. His layup is good. Good steal right there by Mara. Another little delay. No delay called, but delay of game after the Michigan bucket. Not sure what UCLA is doing on the inbound here, but it's going to be Dent who finds Perry, and now Dent will take it back up. Guarded by Roddy Gale, who just subbed in for Mara. Dent at the top of the key, dribbling at the logo now. Dent all the way to the paint. Oh, gets blocked by Gale, but a foul is called. Dent with a couple tough takes here.
And that lane has been opened up for Dent, especially at the end of the first half. You see now 2 consecutive possessions where Dent's trying to get to the right side of the basket and get past the defender. This time, Roddy Gale, a little bit of a quicker defender than Adai Mara, is able to impact the shot, and we'll see what Dent does at the free throw line here.
It's going to be Dent at the stripe, taking 2 free throws this season. He's only shooting 64% from the stripe. His first one is up, and it is no good. This whiteout environment has been causing a couple missed free throws by the Bruins today. They're only 3 for 7 as Dent looks to take his second. Now Dent's second free throw is up. And it is no good. He goes 0 for 2. Merez Johnson with the rebound pushes it up to Elliot Cadeau. Cadeau now dribbles right wing. Michigan setting up their offense. They find Johnson to Burnett in the corner. Burnett drives, finds Cadeau at the elbow, wide open. His mid-range jumper is good.
Michigan usually doesn't like to shoot from the paint. Most of their possessions this game have either been outside of the three-point line or inside the paint, some of the floaters, but certainly seeing them shooting from the free throw line, that's something that Michigan trying to develop their game offensively.
Dent has the ball poked away there by Burnett, but it is off Michigan as the Bruins will retain possession. It's going to be Dent now dribbling at the top of the key, guarded by Lindenberg. He gets a screen from Bailey, now kicks it to the corner to Bilodeau, and Lindenberg with the steal. Lindenberg now driving, he goes all the way, easy layup over Dent. Good steal by Axel Lindenberg right there, his second of the game. And this crowd is going wild as Michigan leads by 9, 49-40. It's Perry now guarded by Johnson. He swings to Daly. Daly driving left. He pulls up for the tough elbow jumper. It is no good off the front of the rim and rebounded by Gale. Gale dumps it off to Cadeau trailing. Now Cadeau on the right wing finds Burnett in the corner. Swings it back out to Cadeau as the Wolverines look to set their offense. Cadeau drives left. Now finds Johnson on the baseline. Johnson posting up, gets it taken away by Perry on the double team. Perry now driving all the way. He goes up. Tough layup over Lindenberg. But now Michigan looks to push again, playing very fast. They find Burnett. His layup is going to be blocked off the backboard. That's a goaltend. Michigan's going to get the bucket, leading 51-42 with 15:25 to go in the second half as we go to our first commercial break. Very fast pace so far, Cleo. What have you seen from Michigan to jump out to this lead again in the second half?
Yeah, well, Michigan's doing a good job matching sort of UCLA. At the end of the first half, UCLA was really able to dash inside the basket and get those quick, easy lanes, access to some of those layups, or even kick it outside for three-pointer. But certainly Michigan is starting to match that. One concern, though, for Michigan, they have 2 turnovers in the entire first half. They already have 2 turnovers here in the second half, matching that output. And saw in that last possession that Michigan, what they do really good is able to get out in front of the team. So Axel Lindenberg makes a defensive play, and then he comes out and gets the lay-in. Now, fortunately for Michigan, they were able to get the goaltend called by the UCLA Bruins, and then they get 2 possessions. But certainly the turnovers is something for Michigan to watch in the second half. And let's see if they'll continue to hold on to this ball. One of the things for Michigan this season is that in some of the games they struggled is because they've turned the ball over a lot. Today, that really has not been the story, and yet it's still a close game. So if the turnovers are added to some of the struggles they had in the first half, that might be major trouble for Michigan in the final 15 and a half years to go.
Yeah, a couple quick turnovers by the Wolverines there. However, they've made 5 of their last 5 field goals, getting some nice, easy looks inside the paint. It's been Cadeau with 2, a layup and a mid-range. Axel Lindenberg has gotten out in transition. Burnett has gotten out in transition, and they have gotten out to a 9-point lead right now. As for the Bruins, Perry had another nice bucket, and then, as we've said before, Dent has been aggressive driving into the paint. Neither team in too much foul trouble here, as it's Daly and Jamerson with 2 each on the Bruins. As for Michigan, Roddy Gale has 2 fouls, but nothing to be too worried about. Biggest thing foul-wise is going to be Mick Cronin's technical foul right now. He hasn't been on the floor nearly as much in the second half as he was in the first half. Got to play it safe.
Certainly Cronin hasn't been as engaged as far as yelling at the officials and some of those other things. He did have a moment there early on in the second half where some of the fans were yelling at him and trying to get him to be even more irate than he usually is. He's certainly a character, and that's something we have to watch for in the second half.
Wrapping up this timeout break here, expecting to see some subs from both the Wolverines and the Bruins. 15:25 to go in the second half. Michigan has jumped out to an 11-4 start here in the second half, playing fast, making their shots, getting nice, easy looks inside the paint. Still only shooting 4 for 14 from 3, but Burnett did hit a big one there to get some momentum. And Michigan has jumped out to a rebound lead in the second half, too. winning 4-1 on the glass. As we could have predicted, Dusty May probably got on them about that in the locker room at halftime. It's a big strength of Michigan's, but it wasn't in the first half. Expect to see more of Michigan on the boards to come.
Certainly, as you look at the UCLA lineup, Booker is going to be on the floor here. Sky Clark is also on the floor. He's making his return. He's missed the last few games due to an injury, and he had some spark on the offensive side of the ball in the first half. We'll see if that continues.
Yeah, Clark hit a 3 there in the first half. Had to feel good for him to see that go down, because it's his first game in a while. For the Bruins, it's going to be Dent taking the ball up, guarded by Gale. Michigan likes to put a little pressure on, but nothing too serious, as Gale is easily able to get to the top of the key as guarded by Gale still. Now on Lenberg. It's going to be Bilodeau in the paint on the baseline. He goes up with a pass to Clark, now back to Dent. Dent drives right, now cuts it back left. Dent with a nice dump off to Booker as he gets the dunk, but it might have been after the shot clock. Good pass there from Dent, but just too late.
Looks like they waved it off.
This one might be under review. As we cut to another timeout here, Cleo. It's second in a row. Sorry to the audience here. There's a lot of dribbling that possession by Dent. Eventually got a nice dump off to Xavier Booker with the dunk, but looks like they're just not sure here if it was on time.
And one of the things that was surprising to me watching the first half is that Booker is the tallest player on the UCLA Bruins, standing at 6'11", but so far, at least in the first half, he really was settling for those three-point attempts. He was really trying to emphasize and make his presence known in the game that way, and I don't blame him. He came into this game shooting about 46% from the three-point line this season, but certainly using that physicality on that last possession, the ball movement of the Bruins, again, taking time off the shot clock, even though that dunk was waved off. Certainly, if Booker has more of a presence inside to match the physicality and the size and length that Michigan has, that's certainly something to watch here in the second half.
Yeah, we didn't see too much of Booker in there in the paint in that first half. We really just saw him hit the 1-3, and then he didn't play too much. It was the Bruins went to turn to Steven Jamerson there in the second half, or in the first half, sorry. I think he played a great half, even though he only had about 2 points. He had a couple of nice steals down in the paint and a couple offensive rebounds, getting in there on the glass, being physical, which is what UCLA is going to need if they want to win this game.
Yeah, the substitution of Booker and Jamerson is the bigs for UCLA. Certainly be something to pay attention to here in the second half and see if Jamerson can add more of an offensive impact that Booker at least is trying to have on the outside and on the last possession had inside.
I expected a little bit of a bigger game out of Adai Mara so far. Only 3 points, I believe. The Wolverines haven't been feeding him too much in the paint. He's out right now for Gale. I expect maybe as we move further along in the second half, you know, Michigan players don't really get too tired. They're such a deep team with having 9 players play big minutes. We've seen in the past couple games, last 10 minutes of the game, Michigan does not look tired at all, where their opponents look exhausted. Maybe then we'll see Mara be able to start to take over, get some wide open looks in the paint, which we have been for the Northwestern game and the Ohio State game recently.
Certainly Mara's presence affects the shots, even if it doesn't show in the stat sheet. You know, just his presence being there at 7'3" impacts the shot of the Bruins. But what UCLA did a good job in the first half was just getting past them with quickness, able to slash and dash to the basket. But certainly another thing, speaking, you mentioned the rest advantage. This is UCLA's first game in a week. They had their week off this past week. They had a win against Washington 77-73. Michigan, of course, had the scare at Northwestern just a few nights ago, and they've been playing. So certainly you could be able to tell that UCLA is a team coming off a week of rest, and Michigan is a team that was playing games recently, because Michigan has been aggressive both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, as they're now going to inbound here of Jackson Lindenborg.
It's going to be Michigan basketball. They decided to go no bucket for the Bruins. There is a shot clock violation. It's going to be Jackson Lindenborg inbounding to Cadeau to take the ball up for the Wolverines as they lead 51-42 with 14:54 to go in the second half as Cadeau takes the ball up. Stands on the logo and finds Gale. Gale, who cuts down the middle and loses the ball. Another turnover for the Wolverines there as Scott Clark picks it up and takes it down. Clark gets the screen from Booker, drives left, and now finds Dent. Dent has handled the ball for a large majority of this game for the Bruins. They find Booker in the corner, back to Clark. Clark drives left, drives past. Brez Johnson with a step back three. That is no good. But Booker with a rebound over Gale. Booker using his physicality and height there with a nice offensive rebound and putback.
Xavier Booker inside. Again, this is now consecutive possessions where he has made his presence felt inside, and now he's going to guard Lindenberg on this possession too.
It's going to be Lindenberg standing on the right wing right now for the Wolverines. He drives wide open three at the right, top of the right. I don't know what happened there, but all of a sudden Lindenberg was wide open. He makes the defense pay, hitting that wide open three on the right wing. It's a 10-point lead for the Wolverines.
There was some miscommunication there. Booker and Dent appeared to switch on the same man, leaving Lindenberg wide open for a three. That's certainly something you can't have happen if UCLA. Or that turnover right here.
Dent drove down the middle, tried to kick it out to Booker, but they were not on the same page. Ball ends up going out of bounds. It's going to be Wolverine ball. Pretty dangerous right here for the Bruins. We know Michigan loves to go on those 10-0, 8-0 runs, those kill shots. They're up 10 right now with some serious momentum in their favor. They've made 6 out of their last 6 field goals as Kaysen subs in and takes the ball up at the top of the key. He finds Gale. Gale with the screen from Lindenberg. Now Gale resets out to Kaysen, top of the key. Kaysen drives right, finds McKinney. McKinney with the tough take down the lane. Trey McKinney gets on the board for the first time today with that layup right there. Wolverines lead by 12. It's 56-44. The Bruins are in serious danger now as Perry dribbles on the left wing, finds Booker, top of the key, back to Perry. Perry uses a screen from Booker, takes a tough mid-range jumper. He's fouled by Lindenberg. Not a good foul right there on that mid-range jump shot.
Certainly, that's what makes Michigan such a tough team to beat. See on that last possession, you accidentally leave a guy wide open, you switch on the wrong man, it's a three-pointer. You turn the ball over, you have a little bit too of an aggressive pass outside, it leads to 2 points the other way. If you're going to come into Chrysler Center and beat the #2, maybe potentially #1 team in the country by Monday, certainly those aren't the type of mistakes you have to play. You have to play a clean game in all facets, and certainly let's see if they make these free throws here. That's another struggle that UCLA has had.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. As the first free throw is up and no good, another missed free throw by UCLA. This Chrysler Center crowd is rocking right now. It's Perry at the line. UCLA is now 3 for 9 from the stripe tonight. Those white towels playing a factor in the free throws for UCLA. Perry's second free throw is up. That one is good. It's 56-45 with 13:01 to go in the second half as Kaysen dribbles up for the Wolverines. Kaysen drives right, screen from Mara. Now his pass is tipped, but Mara ends up with the ball. Mara is fouled. Looks like he was being grabbed by Jamerson right there. It was a little bit of a weird play as Kaysen's pass was tipped but ended up in Mara's hands, and then they kind of got tangled up. Ends up on a foul on Jamerson. That is his third, so something to look out for. Now it's Mara with the inbound pass to Gale. Gale finds Lindenberg, top of the key. As Lindenberg drives right, he pulls up for another three into the defender's face. That one is good. Lindenberg feeling it after hitting his first three. He just took another one right there, right over Booker, and makes it. And UCLA needs a timeout. 59-45 Wolverines. When they get hot, it is dangerous for the other team, Cleo.
When Michigan gets hot, they're arguably the best team in the country. 8-0 run here for the Michigan Wolverines. 2 threes by Axel Lindenberg on that 8-0 run, and then another layup. But certainly what you're seeing now, the adjustments they've made in the second half is what they're not allowing UCLA to get inside. And 2, some of the bigs for UCLA, Jamerson, they're really going after him and attacking him. I would be surprised if we didn't see more of Xavier Booker in the second half. Some of the substitution there from McCronin, Jamerson, or Booker. Certainly Booker appears to be more of a fit against this Michigan team, but certainly giving more confidence to Axel Lindenberg. he came into the season as one of the top transfer players in the country. He's expected to be a lottery pick in the NBA draft. Certainly, he's an unselfish player. Yes, he's capable of scoring 24, 25 points a night, but that's really not his game. He's so sound defensively. He's really smart basketball player. He knows just when to take the free, when to take it inside, when to kick it out, and when to apply the pressure on the defensive side of the ball. So certainly, Axel Lindenberg, a major reason why the Wolverines were standing in this position, number 2 team in the country, well on their way to a Big Ten regular season title. So certainly, he's confidence worth his play this season.
Yeah, Lindenberg having a great game tonight. 17 points, but he's also been all over the place on defense. Only listed for 1 block and 1 steal right now, but it feels like much more than that. He's just all over the place on defense. He's 2 for 3 from 3 right now. He's actually been struggling as of late. He's only shooting about 29% on the season, but it's good to see those 2 go down from the right wing. Michigan has made 8 out of their last 8 field goals. I mean, you just don't see teams like in college basketball do this. Like, this is 2 games in a row now where Michigan has just gone on a crazy streak of making every shot they put up, either whether it's Lindenberg or it's McKinney getting down in the paint or Burnett. Really, anybody on this team is an absolute threat on offense, and they're showing it right now.
Speaking of threats on offense, coming into this game, a name that we haven't mentioned at all in the second half is Tyler Bilodeau for UCLA. So far, he's been held scoreless. He still has 10 points in the first half, but he has not been a threat offensively. I'd be surprised if Mick Cronin doesn't try to get some screens or some plays in this game in order to get him back, because when he gets going, that's when UCLA is at his best, as one of the leading scorers for this team. Perry has played a good game. Trent Perry certainly handling the ball, but Michigan has really keyed in on Bilodeau and Donovan Dent and really made their lives difficult on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. When we saw UCLA make that comeback in the first half, it was Bilodeau knocking down a couple threes, getting to his spots, and in the second half, we have not said his name once, I don't think. We'll see what UCLA has here. They are down 14 as the Wolverines lead 59-45 with 12:27 to go in the second half.
It appears Trey McKinney and LJ Kaysen are going to be on the court here. They were 2 of the stars, major reason why Michigan had that 22-4 run in the second half at Northwestern. Seeing them get more play time as we advance throughout this regular season and in the March, that certainly is something that you can be comforted if you're a Wolverine fan.
It's going to be Perry who brings the ball up for the Bruins here. He now dribbles on the left wing. Gets the switch on to Mara. He's trapped at half court, able to get it off. Now it's Bilodeau driving on the right baseline. He has to find Sky Clark. Sky Clark is able to split a double team and get all the way down the paint. Draws the foul on Mara. He's going to be going to the line to shoot 2.
It's a nice move there by Clark, even though the basket doesn't fall in. Certainly if you're a UCLA fan, as we advance throughout the final games of this regular season, having Sky Clark back is a major factor on this team. He certainly looks like he's recovered from that hamstring injury he suffered earlier this year on January 3rd, and he's averaging about 14 points a game before then, so certainly at the line here, he'll be a major factor for the Bruins season going forward.
Clark's first free throw is up, and it is good. Yeah, like you said, Clark is very important for the Bruins to finish out this season. They're going to be right on the bubble of the tournament, I believe. They're going to need him to really step up and win some of these last big games if they want to secure that tournament spot, as the second free throw is up and good. 59-47 now, the Wolverines lead. It's going to be Roddy Gale bringing the ball up. You got Gale, McKinney, Kaysen, Lindenberg, and Mara out there for the Wolverines as Kaysen collects the ball at the top of the key. Kaysen drives, gets all the way to the paint, now finds Gale wide open in the corner. Gale with a nice jab step and Euro step to get to the reverse layup. That was a tough take right there from Roddy Gale. Driving around Jamar Brown and then finishing around Bilodeau. Now it's Clark driving on the right baseline for the Bruins. He finds Booker open on the top of the key. Now it's Bilodeau. And now Perry has it, swings it to Jamar Brown, and Bilodeau has it back in the corner. Some good ball movement here by the Bruins, but the Wolverines, they can't seem to find an open shot. And Bilodeau is just absolutely stuffed right there by Mara. He couldn't get anything. Now Trey McKinney out in transition. His layup is no good. Michigan's first miss of their last 10 shots. UCLA hasn't made a field goal in the past 3 minutes of game time. Now it's Booker in the corner. He looks to find Perry. Perry is trapped by Mara and Kaysen in the corner. Now Bilodeau gets the mismatch on McKinney, but he's not able to finish the layup.
And that won't show in the stat sheet, but Adayamara's presence right there really impacted that shot from Bilodeau. He wasn't able to drive in and get closer to the lane. He would rather put it up.
Absolutely. Now it's Kaysen dribbling at the top of the key. Gets a screen from Mar and drives left. Kaysen gets all the way to the paint. He looks like he gets it stripped and then kind of loses it out of bounds there. Another turnover for the Wolverines, but even though there's been a couple more turnovers here in the second half, they are playing much better, getting better looks, and making their shots when they get the opportunities.
Will Shetter checks into the game now.
That is going to be Cheddar and Johnson subbing in for Roddy Gala and Adayamara. As the Bruins look to inbound, Michigan has a soft little press set up here. It's going to be Lenneberg guarding Dent all the way at the free throw line. Nothing too serious of a trap or a press, though. Just take some time off the clock as Dent is going to find Booker at top of the key. His wide open three is no good. Lenneberg secures the rebound. He looks to push up the left side of the court. And he finds Johnson for that. Would have been a flashy alley-oop, but is knocked away by Booker. Now UCLA in transition. It's going to be Bailey driving from the baseline. He takes a little fadeaway mid-range, is no good. Rebound secured by Lenneberg. Lenneberg is eating on the glass right now. That was his 8th rebound of the game.
Lenneberg's averaged about 9.3 rebounds a game in the last 7. As part of this 9-game win streak for the Wolverines since their loss to Wisconsin. So certainly not surprising he's having an impact on driving the basket.
It's going to be Kaysen driving left here. He draws the foul, puts the shot up. It is good. It sits on the rim for a second or two there and ends up getting the roll to go. Kaysen into double figures. Great take there, driving left and drawing the foul, being able to put it up and getting the roll to go.
I know Bill Raftery's in the building calling the game from CBS. He say that's a kiss off the glass right there.
Absolutely.
Happy Valentine's Day to everyone listening.
Happy Valentine's Day. Kaysen with a nice and one right there. His free throw is up. And it is good. Kaysen up to 11 points, coming off his career high 18 versus Northwestern. He's really coming into his own the past couple games, being aggressive on offense, and of course he's always a great defender. It's Trent Perry taking the ball up now for the Bruins. He drives left off the screen from Booker, attacks Cheddar. His rebound is no good, and his layup is no good. Cheddar with the rebound. Lenneberg drives right, finds a wide open Kaysen. Kaysen now drives in and draws a foul, blocking foul on Jamar Brown of the Bruins. Right now, UCLA has number 0, Perry, 1, Booker, 2, Dent, 3, Bailey, and 4, Brown in the game. How often do you see that?
And 5 as well, double 5. Sky Clark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Kaysen inbounds to Johnson. Johnson now stands with it in the corner. Gives it back up to Kaysen. Kaysen right wing. Kaysen drives left, gets all the way to the paint. Throws it up and alley-oop to Johnson. It was a little too high. Johnson just ends up collecting it and puts the layup in. Rez Johnson into double figures. He's shooting 5 for 5 right now, just making it look easy.
Just the physicality of Rez Johnson. UCLA, even though this is his first basket in the second half, does not really have a response for him inside.
Michigan's lead has blown up to 19. It is 66-47 with 8:40 to go in the second half. It's going to be Dent trying to get some offense going for the Bruins. Bailey with a nice cut. He gets into the paint. His shot is blocked by Cheddar. And now Booker seems to have an open block or dunk. It is blocked by Lenneberg. Kaysen now in transition all the way. His layup is good. Michigan is absolutely on fire. The lead is 21. Michigan just all over the place on defense. It was a little block party there with Cheddar and Lenneberg. UCLA needs another timeout. This building is loud.
It's the first whiteout in the history of Chrysler Center for a basketball game. This atmosphere is certainly electric, and Michigan very well is playing like the #1 team in the nation. We'll have to wait to see what the voters at Associated Press decide. But certainly you see the full court effort there by Lenneberg, blocks on the other end, he gets a pass, and then LJ Kaysen, the second half star for these Wolverines, able to blow this game wide open.
Absolutely. Michigan on one of their patented kill shot runs, 9-0 right now, looking to make it a 10-0 run. They reach that kill shot. This defense is just unbelievable right there. It looked to be a nice cut from Eric Daly Jr., but Will Cheddar with a rare block And then all of a sudden there's a little scramble for the ball. Ball ends up in Booker's hands. He looks like he has an open dunk. And Yaxel Lenneberg just comes out of nowhere for a block. Michigan gets out in transition, and Kaysen with a tough layup.
If my math is correct, I believe Michigan currently is on a 17-3 run, and it all started earlier more in the game was at 51-44 or 51-42, and UCLA, of course, had that switch where they leave the actual Lindeberg wide open for a three-point attempt, and then they also had that play where not only did they have Lindeberg leave them wide open, but they also had a pass that went out of bounds that leads to a layup on the other end. Since then, Michigan has not looked back.
Yeah, it was really that wide open three from Lenneberg that started the run. Like you said, Cleo, it's really hard to walk into Chrysler Center and beat Michigan if you're making mistakes. UCLA has made a couple mistakes here, and Michigan is just absolutely making them pay. This defense is stifling. UCLA has made 1 of their last 10 field goals. They're 0 of their last 8. Michigan has made 3 of their 3 last field goals, leading to this 9-0 run.
Right now, they're doing the t-shirt toss here at Chrysler. Actually, the president of the University of Michigan, sitting right above us, Domenico Grasso, he actually caught the t-shirt that was coming his way. It was really impressive catch. Of course, being the gentleman that he is, he gave it away to one of the students who's sitting below. But certainly an impressive catch from him, and everyone seems to be playing athletically here at Chrysler Center.
Love to see our president coming out and supporting the team, and he's able to watch a great game right now. Obviously, the crowd is going crazy for this t-shirt toss, as they always do. And, you know, the vibes are just high right now. Michigan playing very well, looking to reach that #1 spot on the AP rankings for the first time since 2013.
Yeah, 2013. Of course, that was the year where Michigan, I believe, ended up in the title game. Of course, they ended up losing the game. But certainly, this Michigan team is one of the best, not only in the history of the Michigan Wolverines program, but if you just look at the margin of victory, the 40-point wins they've had, certainly if the season, still have a long way to go, but certainly if this team is able to play well into April, we'll talk about them as one of the better teams in history of the sport.
Michigan's got an absolute gauntlet coming up next week, taking on Purdue on the road, and then Duke in Washington, D.C. But if they're playing like they have been in the past 8-minute stretch, there's not many teams that can beat Michigan at their best. So you're going to have a performance like Wisconsin did, where you just seemingly don't miss. And it's hard. It's hard against this Michigan team. UCLA is feeling that right now.
Right. One game Michigan lost this season. Wisconsin came into here at Chrysler, shot about 50% from the field, whereas Michigan still had a really good game, shooting 47% from the field. But certainly that looks to be the blueprint to beating this Michigan team, just really score and be aggressive on the offensive line.
It's Dent now on the left wing being guarded by Kaysen. He gets the double screen and switch on to Cheddar. Kaysen shows a little double team. It's Daly driving to the paint. He has a tough finger roll layup there to go in to break the scoring drought for the Bruins. It is now 68-49, just under 8 minutes to go in the second half, as Kaysen dribbles at the logo for the Wolverines and finds McKinney on the left wing. It looked like Sky Clark tried to draw a charge there on McKinney, and it did not work. It was called a block. Haven't been too many fouls here in the second half. That was only UCLA's 4th, and Michigan is sitting at 3 right now. It's going to be Kaysen inbounding the ball for the Wolverines. As he finds Lenneberg at the left wing. Lenneberg finds Johnson in the paint. Looked to have an open look. It was no good, but Johnson was fouled. It seems like every time he touches the ball, it's just too easy. He's wide open in the paint. Nobody on UCLA seems to be able to guard Merez Johnson Jr. right now. Lenneberg with a nice find right there, and it's going to be Johnson heading to the stripe. Johnson's first free throw is got a little bit of a long routine here. Sorry, folks. His first free throw is up, and it is good. Johnson shooting 80% from the stripe on the year. One of Michigan's most consistent free throw shooters, actually. He's 2 for 2 today.
It's good for Michigan anytime to get experience shooting those free throws, especially in some of the closer games against those lead opponents. Against Duke coming up. You have Michigan State here to at the end of the regular season, and of course in the Big Ten tournament and in the NCAA tournament. Certainly the free throws, making sure that those are consistent will be a key if Michigan wants to ultimately reach a title game.
Johnson's second free throw is up and good. He's up to 13 points on the game. 5 for 5 shooting, 3 for 3 from the line. Everything he's put up has gone in as Dent takes the ball up for the Bruins. Standing on the right wing, trying to drive right, finds a good cutter in Jamerson with the dunk. This was the first time that the UCLA offense looked a little comfortable there. Good pick and roll from Dent and Jamerson as they cut the lead in 19.
Even though Dent has not had the impact offensively as far as scoring, there was a nice pass from him.
Kaysen, deep three from the left wing. It is no good and rolls over the top of the backboard. Kaysen hit his first 2 threes today. His second 2 have been no good, but it's good to see him shooting those open shots. As we can see, they can go in, and he's been playing well. Good to build that confidence as Dent brings the ball up for UCLA. Dent with another screen from Jamerson. This time he finds Bilodeau. As Bilodeau had a dribble handoff to Clark, it looked like there was a foul called on Merez Johnson for a push. Michigan going to bring in some subs here as Burnett, Cadeau, and Mara come in. It's going to be Cheddar, Lenneberg, and McKinney going to the bench. Michigan now has Cadeau, Kaysen, Johnson, Burnett, and Mara out there as Dent drives right. Another pick and roll. Oh, Donovan Dent tried to go up on a dime, Mara, and that is just not a good idea. It was sent to the stands. That was Mara's second block of the game. Third block of the game, sorry. Having a great defensive game for the potential Defensive Player of the Year candidate, not just in the Big Ten, but in college basketball as a whole. Now Clark takes a step back 3 over Mara. That is a great shot in the corner over the 7-footer.
Sky Clark has his confidence. He is back for the Bruins. Still a 16-point game, however.
It's going to be Burnett in the corner, driving baseline as he loves to do. He finds Mara on the right baseline. Mara posting up against Jamerson. Finds Burnett again. Burnett in the right corner now. Not much space to work with. Burnett ends up driving. Burnett drives. His shot gets blocked right into Mara's hands. Mara puts up a little dunk, close shot. It gets blocked, ends up going in. There was a foul on the play. We're not sure what the call is going to be here. Mara went up with a little dunk there. He was fouled by Jamerson. They're going to call it offensive goaltend, but he's still going to go to the line for 2 free throws. A little bit of a weird play there, but Jamerson ends up picking up his 4th foul, which is not good for the Bruins.
You don't see that every day. Goaltend on the offensive side of the ball.
And then a foul. A weird play, but it's going to be Mara shooting 2. He's 2 for 4 on the day. His 5th free throw attempt is going to go up right here. And it is good.
And that was Jamerson's 4th foul of the day, so he's staying in the game right now for the free throw attempt. Certainly one of the taller players on UCLA for the final 6 minutes or so. If he were to foul out, that would certainly just only give Michigan more of an advantage as far as height and length in this team.
We've definitely seen Michigan start to attack the paint a little bit more in the second half, getting UCLA in foul trouble and just dominating. As Mara's second free throw is up and no good, rebounded by Jamar Brown, and then it's going to be Trent Perry bringing the ball up the right side for the Bruins. Perry guarded by Mara. Now it's going to be Brown, top of the key, guarded by Mara. They're looking to find Bilodeau down in the paint. He gets open, tries to go up over Johnson and Mara. Not the best idea. It's no good. Rebounded by Mara with an outlet to Kaysen. Kaysen looks to slow it down. He finds Cadeau, who finds Burnett wide open in the corner. Burnett with the pump fake and drives by Dent and draws the foul. Looks like Burnett is going to head to the line here for a little 1-and-1 bonus free throw shot. Burnett sitting at 9 points right now, looking to break into double figures with this free throw right here. 5:40 to go. Michigan leads 71-54. Burnett's first free throw is up. It is no good. He left it short, but Mara with the rebound and is knocked out of bounds by UCLA. It's going to be Michigan ball. Cronin not happy, heading back to the bench. He can't even look at his team.
So it looks like we're going to have a slow finish here in the final 5.5 minutes here at Chrysler.
The rebound battle is now up to 28 for the Bruins and 25 for the Wolverines. As we kind of expected, Michigan has been better on the glass in the second half, starting to create more opportunities and limit UCLA's on their offensive rebounds. Cadeau now with the lob to Mara. Mara with the reverse alley-oop. What a pass from Elliot Cadeau right there, and a great reverse finish from Mara against his former team.
That doesn't feel sweet for him. Cadeau throws it up over Xavier Booker. There's nothing he can do to impact that.
Booker takes a three. It is no good, and then Cadeau is fouled on the rebound by Brandon Williams. It's going to be Cadeau going to the line now here as Michigan has a 19-point lead. 5:14 to go here in the second half. Michigan has absolutely pulled away in the second half, just playing much more physical, getting better open looks and taking advantage of them when they get those open looks. It's going to be Cadeau at the line here. He severely limited the turnovers this game, only one, whereas against Northwestern he was struggling a little bit, which ended up for Kaysen finishing the game. Cadeau's first free throw is no good, and Merez Johnson gets another offensive rebound on the free throw, and then Namari Burnett's three rattles in a couple times and ends up falling. It seems like Michigan can almost do no wrong right now. Even when they're missing these free throws, they're getting the rebounds and then getting open looks, punishing UCLA.
That seems to be the lucky basket for the Wolverines on the left side of the court here at Chrysler Center. Certainly Michigan, Davin Previs seems to like to play on that side.
Absolutely. Kaysen had that crazy roll on the and one earlier, and then Burnett rattles one home. Couple spins around the rim and ends up falling. Michigan just playing an absolutely great second half. They've made 5 of their last 7 field goals. They're probably shooting close to 70% in the second half from the field. It seems like everything they're putting up is going in. They're 27 for 45 overall, shooting 60%, 7 for 18 from the 3, which is an improvement from the first half. They were struggling a little bit. The rebounds have gotten much better. It is now 28-26, only down 2 on that margins after being down 10 at half. Michigan might be looking like the #1 team in the country right now. I don't know what you think, Cleo, but
Certainly with Arizona's loss earlier this week, and even if Arizona wins today, I still expect Michigan to get that #1 ranking for the first time since 2013. But if they want to end the season ranked #1, they're certainly going to have to earn it. They have a ranked matchup next week at Purdue. That's, of course, a tough place to play. They go to Washington, D.C. to face the Duke Blue Devils. That might be a Final Four preview if the season holds up. Then they have Illinois, and then, of course, they end the regular season with Michigan State here at home. So certainly, if Michigan wants to end the season #1, be the #1 overall team in the country heading into the tournament, they're going to have to play well. But certainly, if they continue to play like they've done today, really closing down the lanes, adjusting some of the halftime adjustments, really closing off those lanes inside, and then Yaxel Lindenberg and others continuing to shoot the ball, LJ Kaysen, Trey McKinney, even Amari Burnett, who's not having a great game offensively by his standards. Certainly the other players as well on Michigan. They're such a deep team, and they continue to play like this and be sound of each other, offensive and defensive side of the ball. I don't know if anyone can really beat them down the stretch.
it's going to be Trent Perry driving into the paint. They're getting a little trapped by Mara, trying to kick it out to the corner, and his pass goes out of bounds. Another turnover for the Bruins, their 11th of the game. This Michigan defense is just stifling. They force you to take tough shots. They force a lot of turnovers, and it's just hard to score on this Wolverines defense. Now Johnson holds the ball at the top of the key. He swings to Cadeau, who swings to McKinney. It's going to be Burnett at the top of the key now. He pump fakes and finds Johnson. It looks like Johnson has a mismatch here. Johnson finds a cutting Burnett into Mara, and Mara swings it to Merez Johnson for the alley-oop. Great ball movement there from the Wolverines. Obviously, Mara, an amazing passer. He finds Merez Johnson right there.
Again, the physicality of Merez Johnson. He was forced to get rid of the basketball, pass it out to Cadeau. Then Mara is able to find him. Merez Johnson cuts back inside, and that's an easy dunk. We're going to clear out for him anytime he elevates inside the paint.
Another turnover from the Bruins right there. Try to feed it inside to Xavier Booker, who had a little bit of a mismatch, and it was just an errant pass. Went out of bounds again. Another turnover forced by the Wolverines. They're on another 8-0 run. It just seems like anytime Michigan really plays at their best, they're going on these 8-0, 9-0, 10-0 runs. Michigan leads 78-54 with 4:10 to go in the second half. Michigan playing nice and slow here, just taking some time off the clock. It's Yaxel Lenneberg at the right wing, swings it to Cadeau, top of the key. Now back to Lenneberg. All of a sudden, Ade Mara just becomes wide open in the paint. A great pass there from Lenneberg. Mara with a pump fake, gets Booker in the air, and then ends up with a wide open dunk.
Michigan really seems keen on attacking Xavier Booker. They don't believe, at least by just the coaching that's happened on the court, that he can match the physicality of this team.
Dent gets in the paint, hits a nice floater. That seems to be a spot right there if he can get a nice runner. Doesn't matter if it's over Mara or over anybody. They've been going in today, but UCLA still trails by 24.
Certainly when the leading scorers for UCLA, Perry, Booker, or Perry, Dent, excuse me, and Bilodeau, have not really had much of an impact. That was Dent's first basket, I believe, in the second half. Bilodeau's been shut out, and Perry has had minimal impact, so certainly not something that you can have if you want to continue to win games and get into the NCAA tournament. They have to show up in these second halves.
Game is getting a little physical there. An off-ball foul committed by Bilodeau on Cadeau. We're going to a media timeout right here. When we get back, it's going to be Cadeau at the free throw line. Let's take this time to go ahead and look ahead at the rest of Michigan's schedule for this year. As we said, next week, it is a huge week on Tuesday, taking on Purdue in Mackey Arena. That's going to be a huge game against the number 13 ranked Boilermakers, who should be moving up in this next week's poll after winning on the road at Nebraska. And then Michigan is going to take on Duke, that huge top 4, maybe top 3 matchup next week. We'll see what Michigan and Duke are ranked. That is going to be a huge game at a neutral site. In my opinion, it's great for Michigan to be able to play a game like that. Huge out-of-conference, top 5 ranked matchup in February. It just should be a great opportunity to prepare for March.
That should be a great opportunity. And Michigan did get some of that big game experience from earlier in November at one of the tournaments over Thanksgiving holiday. They got big ranked win against Auburn. Auburn was ranked at the time. Of course, Gonzaga, who is still a really good team. Those are the type of teams you're going to have to beat, not only in the Big Ten tournament. It's really hard to go through the Big Ten tournament, and then we're going to have to beat those teams in March. Florida last year was one of the rare teams that was able to go through the SEC tournament, win that tournament, and then, of course, they ended up being national champions. It's really hard to double up just because of the physicality. Of course, Michigan won the Big Ten tournament last year. They fell short to Auburn in the Sweet 16. So certainly Michigan not looking to peak early and getting those tests against opponents like Duke. Even the regular season, that Illinois game at Illinois, that's going to be another top 10 matchup potentially. That'll be a tough environment for them. So certainly, even though Michigan, if they were to make it to the Final Four, that game, the Final Four tournament, is being held in Indianapolis, Indiana. So certainly would be easy for Wolverines fans to get there. But in order to get there, we're going to have a lot of tough opponents along the way. And currently getting opponents like Duke and Michigan State and Illinois down the stretch will help them.
Absolutely. It is just crucial that we get to play these games. We get to get tested. We get to see what this team is made of, because we've seen Michigan in a lot of different types of games. We've seen them have to come from behind, like the Nebraska game, like the Northwestern game. You've seen them in games like this where they get out to a great lead in the first 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden you get to halftime and it's a close game, such as this game. The Maryland game was close at half. The Michigan State game, Michigan State had a great comeback against Michigan, and they had to pull away. It's just great to be able to have all these experiences and win in different ways, and they're going to have to. They're going into some tough environments. They're going at Purdue. They're going at Illinois, and then Iowa is no slouch either with Bennett Sturtz and the rest of their squad. But I think that is just great for Michigan to get this experience now, so that when you're playing these big games in March, hopefully we're in the Elite Eight, hopefully we're in the Final Four going against some great teams. We've been there before.
Certainly if you're a Michigan fan, it's great if you're a Michigan fan to get those 40-point wins, but that's just not realistic unless you're that UConn team from a few years ago to get those double-digit wins in the tournament. You're going to have to play these close games, and as you're saying, Michigan's had some tough games this year. They're 4-0 when trailing at halftime this year, so certainly the resilience, even when they're down 16 points to, albeit a Northwestern team that they're more talented than, it's not a really good basketball team, but they're able to have that 22-4 run in the second half and still end up winning that game by double digits. So Michigan has shown that they are a resilient bunch. Even if they're leading by 2, or if they're down by 2, or even if they're down by 16, certainly they're a threat to win the game by double digits, and they're well on their way to a 20-plus point victory here at Price Arena.
It's going to be Cadeau at the free throw line with the 1-and-1. Elliot Cadeau having a bit of a more quiet game, only 7 points, but he does have those 5 assists and only 1 turnover, just doing what needs to be done. His first free throw is up and good. Michigan now leads 81-56 with 3:08 to go. Cadeau's second free throw is going to go up, and it is good. A 26-point lead here for the Wolverines. Very comfortable in the second half. They just completely outplayed this UCLA team. You know, it could be because of Michigan's depth. It could be because of the coaching adjustments made by Dusty May at halftime.
Someone just shouted, "I love you, Dusty," to him, the Wolverines head coach. Certainly, Dusty May reminds me a lot of Mick Cronin early on in UCLA. Took over a program, of course, had such great historical success. A little bit of slouching years before then. Mick Cronin, of course, made it to the Final Four in his second year. They were a 40-point three-pointer from Jalen Suggs, bank shot in, Bill Raftery on the call. They're away from potentially playing Baylor in the national title game and winning that game. So certainly, if you're a Michigan fan, as Aimara, Lindeborg, and Cadeau, which the star trio for the Wolverines sub out, you hope that you can get on the Final Four and have a similar run under second-year coach Dusty May.
Yeah, I think every Michigan basketball fan loves Dusty May, absolutely. Hopefully, he has absolutely turned this tournament around. Hopefully, we can reach a Final Four. As Oscar Goodman has subbed into the game for the Wolverines, along with Will Cheddar and LJ Kaysen. That three goes up from Perry. It is no good. Rebounded by McKinney. Michigan still pushing the ball out in transition to Kaysen, but then he's eventually going to reset it. It's going to be Gale on the right wing. He drives left. Finds Will Cheddar wide open. Will Cheddar gets on the board with a nice easy layup right there. The lead is up to 28 with just about 2 minutes to go.
See now Oscar Goodman in the game. Will Cheddar, of course, a fan favorite, Howard Isley Jr. Howard Isley Jr., make sure we get that correct. Of course, his father played in the NBA for a long time. Let's see if some of them get in the game in the final 2 minutes here.
That's going to be Eric Freeney with the three-pointer. It is no good. Rebounded by Cheddar, and Kaysen slowly takes the ball up. Minute 45 to go here in the second half. This game has been won comfortably by Michigan. Yet again, they have just been playing great as of late. I believe as Trey McKinney puts up a three, it is no good. A little quiet game from him, but Will Cheddar gets the rebound. He goes up, gets the ball stripped. Like I just said, Trey McKinney has had a quiet game, only 2 points. He's averaging 10 on the season. This Michigan team is just so deep that anybody can take over. Today, Yaxel with 17 points. Merez Johnson also had a great game. It's just, this is one of the deepest teams in the nation.
It appears Trey McKinney's 7-game streak on part of this 9-game win streak of having double-figure games as far as scoring the basketball will end tonight. But certainly his presence just being a threat. Michigan fans have to remember he's only a freshman, and he certainly over the next 2 years will continue to develop his game and emerge as one of the star players as some of the other guys head potentially to NBA once the season is complete.
It's going to be Dent finding Bilodeau there. Now Dent drives left. He finds Jamar Brown with a pull-up mid-range. It is no good. Rebounded by Roddy Gale. Coming up on a minute left in the game. Now Will Cheddar is still looking to take a three. He pump fakes and drives. Now finds Oscar Goodman. Oscar kicks it out to Roddy Gale to reset. The crowd is starting to get on there. Oh, Roddy Gale throws a pass to Jamar Brown. And his wide open transition layup is no good. As Will Cheddar ties the ball up, and Michigan is going to get possession. Not sure what happened. I didn't really see the steal there, but all of a sudden Jamar Brown was out in transition. Shot was contested by Roddy Gale, and he ends up missing the layup. 47 seconds to go here. Michigan leads by 28.
Even with a 28-point advantage, you can certainly see the closing speed of the Wolverines, and with a lot of their starters not in the game. And right now, the fans here at Chrysler are shouting, "Number one," and it appears Michigan is going to get that designation for the first time in nearly 13 years on Monday.
Michigan fans absolutely sending a message to AP voters right now. We'll see what they eventually decide. Arizona has obviously had a great season so far with just their one tough loss coming at Kansas as Will Cheddar tries the paint, does a spin move layup to make the lead 30 points. Cheddar is absolutely hyped. Talking to the bench right now. That was a great move from him. Didn't know he necessarily had that in his bag. But it looks like the Bruins are just going to dribble this one out, and it's going to be another 30-point win for the Wolverines.
A little razzle-dazzle in the game to see if UCLA gets one shot. They don't want a 30-point loss on the record. It looks like they're going to turn the ball over out of bounds. And Michigan is going to come away with an 86-56 victory.
Yep, one last turnover right there for the Bruins, and it's another 30-point win for the Wolverines. Actually, their first 30-point win in a little bit. It feels good. Michigan with an absolutely dominant second half after only leading by 2 at halftime to be a 30-point win. Extremely impressive.
This again compliments to Dusty May this week. He became the fastest head coach to reach 50 wins among active head coaches in college basketball. It only took him 61 games to do so. He picks up win 51 here tonight. Certainly just the depth of the team. As you mentioned, Trey McKinney necessarily, even though he was the star of the last game to come back to Northwestern, he's held 3 points tonight. You have LJ Case, of course, Jackson Littenberg, Adai Mara, Perez Johnson, his physicality inside. Mari Burnett had the double-digit figure game. It's just such a deep team. They're able to attack you in so many different ways. They're able to get out in some of this transition and have the defensive side of the ball pressure, and also the adjustments that they make is just truly tremendous. And we'll see if Michigan gets that elusive #1 ranking later this week.
Yep, Michigan right there, led by Yaxel Lenenberg and Perez Johnson tonight with 17 and 15 points. A 30-point win. Great game for the Wolverines. And we thank you guys for listening. This has been WCBN's broadcast of the Michigan Wolverines versus the UCLA Bruins. We'll hope to see you guys next time we're on the call. Maybe calling a #1 team. We'll see. But a great game here tonight. We thank you guys for listening. And we'll leave you guys with a good night and a Go Blue.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day.